right now. We have Bowen Cairns and Todd McCullough about to join us here. Welcome, Bowen and Todd.
Oh, it's great to be here. It's great to see the games that have been played. Some ridiculous action today, including involving yourself.
Oh, man. I know. Even, like I said, even though I lost that, I have no complaints. Other than that, I didn't win, of course. Other than, of course, I didn't win that I had the chance with the $30 million shot twice. But like I said, you know, that and $600 and good play on camera.
$600 man, baby.
Hey. I really can't complain. A lovely day.
I can't complain about your game, Steve. I wish I had your game. I lay at night dreaming about your game. In fact, I just took a nap thinking about I wish I could play like Steve and Bowen.
What's been the best you've seen today, Todd?
Just incredible clutch play. Obviously, Andrei Masenkoff knows exactly how to play in big-time situations, and there's none bigger than a playoff and going up against somebody like Jorgen Ingebrigtsen. Just an unbelievable battle. And Andrei sometimes appears to be out of control, but he is in total control, and I like his style. I don't know that I've modeled my game after anyone, but I think I play more similarly to Andrei, and so I think I definitely root for him. I kind of like that wild, shoot-from-the-hip style and just rack up the points, and it's amazing that he can be as accurate as he is with that style, but it gives me hope that I can keep playing fast and loose.
And just how about a big respect to Escher, left call.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, 900 on Dracula.
900 million on Dracula.
And then
that's what, 90 million per year.
Right, yeah.
in dog years.
Oh my goodness, the scores he was putting up in high pressure situations such as this, under the camera. I mean, and he's only going to get better because
that's the scary thing.
It's only going to get better. And that's proof. Those of you out there, those of you who are 10 years old, those of you who are kids who want to think about, getting into this little sport we call pinball. Look what can happen to you.
It's sometimes at the Olympic Games they talk about someone being so young that the nerves don't get involved, and they perform because they're not even really old enough to know just how big and momentous this is, and they perform extremely well. And I think this could be a situation the same where Escher just doesn't psych himself out, doesn't let his mind get in the way. He's playing for pure joy, and I think these people really appreciate how good he is, and he's got to feel good about all the support and how everyone's rooting for him because the kid's a phenom. He's such a nice kid.
Right, and it's great. It's great for him, and he's tasted the power now. Right, this is only going to motivate him.
It's only going to corrupt him.
Only going to motivate him even more. More ice cream challenges. More.
I want more ice cream.
More. I mean, that's unbelievable. And yes, he did beat me, and no, I'm not upset. Yes, I am upset I lost.
Just a little bit inside, but you're happy for him.
Just a little bit. I'm happy for him.
All right, we're starting the finals
just
here.
A little bit.
Yep, let's start.
And we've got Damian Charlty. This is Jackpots, and the goal of the game is to put the balls into these saucers in the center, open the visor, get through to the back to start multi-ball, and then we'll talk about the multi-ball when it begins. But Damian started off very well. He can make one pot shot at the beginning of the game into the correct flashing lane, the rower column, and you'll just open the visor in one shot. And he pulled that off. He knew exactly what to do. That's multi-ball in what, 15 seconds?
The more you do. This isn't your daddy's multi-ball, ladies and gentlemen.
In this multi-ball, there's 4 shots to make. The 2 holes he's just made before. Also the left shot under the ramp and the right shot. You can generally see a jackpot lit up in red.
Bad luck jackpot.
Why is that a bad luck jackpot?
Because if he did not get that jackpot, he would have been able to have a multi-ball restart.
Start fresh.
And now he's going to have to work through that visor again.
It just gets harder and harder.
So now this time he's going to have to open the visor once with that flashing light, hopefully. And then if he can lock a ball, the visor's going to well, actually, this is the second multi-ball, so it won't reclose on him, will it? Will it reclose on him?
Unfortunately, he missed the open shot there to get it right away.
The money, we call that the money ball.
Yeah.
Missed in the money ball, which means he's going to have to make it the hard way. But
got to bring your hard hat. Roll your sleeves up. It's going to be a long day at work.
Right, I want to clarify. The first time you open the visor, every hit to the visor gives you one complete line in the keynote card.
Yeah, and then you gotta do the whole 25.
Right, versus the second one where each hit will give you 2 spaces on the keynote card. So it takes it down from 5 hits to 13 hits. And that's if you don't get the instant open.
And then what about that? What about after that?
Oh, after that, then you got to hit the keynote card once each time, and that is brutal.
That sounds like a lot of hits.
25 hits if you don't get the instant open. That's why that instant open at the first shot is so important.
And that's why instant oatmeal for breakfast is also very important to get ready for a day of challenges.
challenging
there
pinball.
was a miss, but not too bad here because he's only got, as you said, 5 shots to make to get this through.
And you have the pretty colors to guide you.
And on the first one, it will give you the neighborhood play. So if you're on the neighborhood of the one you want, it will give it to you. Like, for example, he needs the blue one.
Let's call him Mr.
So
Rogers.
if he hits the yellow or the orange one, he will get credit for the blue.
You get that little
on the first round.
You get that little general area assumption. You're close
There
enough.
it is.
We'll give it to you.
And this is good programming too, because if say something's broken or you want the player to feel satisfied, aim towards that area. You're going to give him credit for it the first time, but you're going to jack up the difficulty over time.
Exactly.
This game was designed by Barry Orsler, and the software is by a combination of different people, including Larry DeMar, Louis Koziars, and others. And the layout is the same layout as the original Pinbot game from the mid-'80s.
Classic.
Which allowed Valley Williams to concentrate on the software, the rules, the music. This game has great balance, great flow. It's a wonderful challenge machine. Skillful play can get you a big score. And we're watching Andre Masenkoff from San Francisco Bay Area play here. I'm Bowen Cairns with Steve Bowden and Todd McCulloch. This is the Pinburgh final. The winner of this 4-game match will get $7,500 and the giant cup that appears next to the jackpot game. And that's a pretty sweet cup.
When you're playing sports,
We
it's
can
always
tell.
important to have a cup.
Yeah, we can tell how heavy it was when you brought it out. It's a substantial piece of hardware there.
You guys know how heavy trophies are. I have not felt what a trophy feels like. You guys know the weight and the burden that those things
That cup
carry.
is a two-hander. Actually, I remember you have won trophies, but you just leave them at the airport after you
for
after
some
you get
reason
them.
I want to separate myself from it, but I want them so badly. It's like I want it too close. It's like I'm flying too close to the sun. I'll figure it out though. I want to try again.
Yeah. Steve,
yeah.
you have a lot of tournament experience. What would you say is your greatest? What would you say is the most fun you've ever had in a tournament?
Well, obviously winning. Well, Southern Pinball Festival 2012. You know,
Where was that? Was that in the north?
That was Florida. And when I faced down, I think it was Trent and Josh Sharp.
Yeah.
And that's when I finally was convinced. Yeah, I can do that. You know, I was 95% sure I could do that. When I did that and it happened, that's what convinced me. But this game is tight. I mean, you figure, at home you might be saying, why didn't he shake that more? Because it's tight. He already had one strike. One reason why I really like Jackpot is that this really is a control game. And for a control game, for a person like me who is admittedly subpar in his control, I play Jackpot just to practice that, just to practice my bounce passes, practice my drop catches, because you need it so much in this game to succeed.
If you get control of the ball, any shots you make to the game saucer or the ramp, you basically should get it back. Although Andre actually was robbed there.
He was.
Came out the game saucer, bounced in an odd way right towards the right out lane danger area, and he was unable to shake save it.
That is that randomness of that game saucer. I mean, it seems to be kicking out one of about 3 different ways. Sometimes it'll kick straight down to the left flipper, and happiness will ensue. And other times it will go off the right, and chaos.
I heard they might be trying to combine this with some EM Express in the next release, and they're going to call it Big Game Saucer.
Oh, well, it's just about, you know what? The next iteration
That'll
of
be the wide body.
Jackpot 4.
Jackpot 4.
The big game.
The return of the bride, of the groom.
Oh, man.
So yeah, this is a series of games: the original Pinbot, and then Bride of Pinbot 1990, and then now Jackpot around 195.
All right, that seems right.
It's time for
all
version
3 games
2.0.
involving the same characters, and this company called Dutch Pinball actually did make 2.0. They made Bride of Pinbot 2.0 just recently. They did
they've done
updates
well.
to the original
Excellent job.
software.
They've done well with it.
Dutch Pinball, and it's terrific.
It's
With
great.
incredible dots.
I mean, I played it at Expo, and even just the music is awesome. I like the techno soundtrack. Really provides the atmosphere of a game where you fly a shuttle to the moon and build a giant cyborg woman. I mean,
Who doesn't want to do that?
That's why it's techno. What other music would there be other than, say, epic classical?
Yeah.
Dreams are made of.
These are the dreams of Barry Orsler and Python Angel.
Right.
That's why you shoot for the moon, guys. If you miss, you're among the stars.
That's right.
And we're seeing Jim Belcito now. It's almost a complete California final. It is a fully West Coast final, as we'll see. But Jim from Southern California wearing the T-shirt from his tournament. It never drains in Southern California, and it does, but
It's one of the better names on the tournament circuit.
It's,
I like that name.
We're going to start one in Seattle called It Always Rains in Seattle.
it's it always snows in Pittsburgh.
It's
It
sunny
snowed
now.
this
It's
morning, but
beautiful right
it's
now.
getting really nice
Oh,
out.
did you notice what he just did there? He actually went for the skill shot. Why? Because it was maxed out. He got that award at the saucer, so he just cleared $150 million for that one shot.
So what is the purpose of that? This plunge. He's gonna get a 2-ball multi-ball here, but there's a plunge around the corner there. Let's watch the multi-ball and see how he does here.
Right, because it's very important if you can get some controlled catches to maybe get some triple jackpots. There's one.
Oh, that was
Oh,
pretty.
good.
You talked about the importance
All right.
of drop catches.
He did it, and
You-
there it is.
oh,
Oh,
he
that was
bricked
robbery.
Oh.
Come on, jackpot. Give him some more love there. There's one for the road, but oh, come on.
That was a kick out in the pants.
Now, one thing in jackpot I really want to mention that people are doing that I guess I should let this out is that when you have the flippers caught for the super and you have both the left and right lights available, shoot the left one first. Don't shoot the right one first. If you shoot the left one first and get the super with the right, when it comes out, the right one will be lit for another super. If you shoot the right one first and then the left, they're both gone, as you just saw. Very subtle. I don't know if that's a bug.
Can you describe what the super is in the first place?
Super,
How do you get
right,
that?
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, the super jackpot is if you get one of the eyes, and then if you shoot the ball into one of the saucer eyes, and then within about 1.5 seconds, you can shoot a second ball into the other eye. So you have both balls in there simultaneously. You will get the next 3 jackpot awards in a row.
Oh.
Ugh. So that is the super jackpot. So anytime you can do that, you advance 3 jackpots toward the Mega Visor. Mega Visor's in 15 jackpots. But you also get those huge point values with it. So anytime you can get the super, you want to try for it, which is why control is so important in this game.
And here's our 4th player, the top seed in the final, Robert Gagnon from Canada. And Robert has just been a workhorse all throughout the tournament. He, at one point, was 3 games ahead of the entire field at the number 1 seed, ended up number 2 overall behind Lyman Sheets. And his shooting accuracy, his decision-making is become outstanding. And he seems to have infinite patience and no nerves.
Right, I haven't seen any. Yeah, I haven't seen any at all.
That makes it pretty hard to beat. Have you played Robert, Todd?
I have played Robert. Robert and I have played in Seattle League together. We've played in the Vancouver, BC League together. And Robert has defeated me on Canadian soil, American soil. I don't know if we've played down in Mexico. But Robert is a clutch player, plays extremely well. He gets some saves that you think are absolutely impossible, and sometimes just has the ball it just avoids the out lanes when he's playing it, and he's very subtle in his movements. Often you see people violently shake the machines and make changes, but
Wait for it.
Now that was brilliant right there, because a typical player would have shot for a jackpot there, and instead he shoots for the restart because of what Steve said earlier. Now he can get an unlimited number of jackpots with the 2 balls again. In fact, he can even plunge it into the center on this loop around for a jackpot, but it puts the ball in danger, and he prefers to have the ball on a flipper.
Maybe he'll try for some soft plunge Kaylee jackpots here. If he can soft plunge, get the ball on the right flipper, shoot the jackpot under the cashier on the left, that will not count as playfield validation.
Yeah, so it's not going to kick out the other ball until he's stuck in here. It comes. Oh. It's stuck there. It's not going to kick out the other ball until the game says, oh yeah, both balls are definitely out. So if he manages to hit nothing and get the ball to a trap,
here we go,
like he did there, he can take shots at one jackpot there.
The Kaylee rules.
Without releasing
fine.
the ball.
Oh,
And I guess it did hit 3 stings.
It did 3.
So
because I believe it counted the like when he soft plunge, there is a switch.
There.
There's a switch when it goes down.
yeah, you got the
there.
3rd switch on the return, and we set the games up a little harder than usual to try and make it more difficult for players to do that. Can you describe a little bit about the shot that Roberts just made? We've seen players aim for that shot called the game saucer. What is the purpose of shooting that?
Well, the game saucer, Jackpot has 4 games he wants you to play in his casino, and those 4 games that are listed at the game saucer, if you're able to successfully play all 4 games, and you can cash those in for bonus points, there's a 5th game called the casino run. So basically, what you're going to see players do is try to shoot the game saucer, play a game, right, cash it in, then light the game saucer again, and then do that 4 times then the 5th time will be the casino run. There's a huge red arrow that you can't see lit right now below the games. And if you can get that fifth arrow, you get to play basically the Joker's Wild, if you remember the game show.
The favorite game show from the 70s,
Joker. But it's essentially that.
Points.
But instead of dollars and devils, it's points and bombs.
Jackpot.
Sounds like a rap video.
Right.
So it's a decision that a player chooses to take the risk reward of going to shoot for the game saucer, because you might miss and drain. You might even get it to go in there and drain, as we saw from Andre's turn. But Andre did play several games. So Andre's made a decision in advance to try and get towards the casino run for a guaranteed score. But if he doesn't make all 5 games, it kind of backfires. If you get 3 or 4 games, you fall short. We still haven't seen anybody pick up the triple yet.
Maybe, no. But they're relit now, so now he can start right on over.
And the game saucer relights all 4, holds the ball for a few seconds.
He's going to wait for this to come out.
Todd, you played much of this game?
I haven't played this in an earlier round, and I had one of the best games I've ever had. I ended with about 2.5 billion, which I was pretty impressed with myself. My strategy was to go for Casino Run, and I was successful in getting to Casino Run, and luckily I picked up a no bomb. I thought I was protected, so I could just keep maximizing the 45 seconds and keep saying no game. I'm not ready to collect my money. Give me more. And then when I finally got a bomb, I thought, okay, well, there's not going to be a bomb on the next one. I can go one more round. Yep, there was a bomb, and I lost all those points. So that's kind of the risk reward that's built into this game. You take your risks, and fortunately it was enough. But I love this game. I used to have it. I was operating it. That establishment was struck by lightning and burned to the ground.
Whoa! Super!
And the crowd recognizes that. That's a lot of
I
points.
thought people were
there.
clapping for my location going up in flames. I thought that was extremely rude of everyone. And Robert is doing phenomenally here.
Yeah, and he's currently going to try a move called a cradle separation here, get the 2 balls, 1 out of the way.
Here we go.
You know,
you're better off.
$1 million points.
This could be huge.
$1 billion points.
This could be
billion
huge.
Points.
He's chosen to relight. That's an interesting decision. He chose to eschew the triple.
Did you say, bless you, did you just eschew?
Eschew. I'm not even sure if that's the right word. That's just the word that appeared in my head at that particular moment.
Robert likes control so much he's willing to give up opportunity in order to have control. And this is also a decision that Keith Elwin makes, I feel, to just say, you know what, you don't have very many multi-balls. Don't risk the multi-ball just so you can take a single shot here and there. Boy, did you see? I mean,
wow.
The little flicks that
Just
he's doing on the flippers.
Big points.
There's another triple.
Woo.
Oh, my God. What is
you also see
billion?
he's clapping the hands behind the
$1
back, gentlemen. Do you see him? He's doing clapping. That takes a lot of dexterity.
That was
$1
a shot that deserved
Dr. Evil, $1 billion is not a lot of points these days.
I gotta say, 100 billion points might be out of range here, but we are seeing a huge start.
Oh, if he
to
can
the Pinburgh
triple
final.
this, he's at 450 now. There's 450 and 500, and then that's the last jackpot. But if he gets the triple, he'll get another 500.
Oh, better cash it in now.
Oh, is he going to cash it in? He got it.
It's a 450 right there. 3.6 billion points already on the board for Robert Gagnon of Canada.
Oh.
And what a ball. What a start to the Pinburgh final for him.
Little self-clap. Well-deserved. Well-deserved, sir.
We're live on Papa TV. Thanks to all our Kickstarter backers for making this possible.
And
Bo
you're
and
welcome,
Karens,
sir. You are welcome.
Todd McCulloch, Steve Bowden.
Yep.
You were both backers as
And
well.
were you
as,
not? Were you excluded? Were you allowed to back this project, or were you excluded as one of the promoters?
I don't know the rules of those things.
Well, Steve, thank you for your contribution. Did you have a bank backed? Was one of these banks backed by Steve Bowden in terms of the title?
No, I don't think it was.
No appreciation for you. Maybe think about that the next time you contribute. Make it a little bigger.
You should have contributed to a better random number generator.
Okay. That's what it was.
So
I was wondering what that
at Pinburgh
was.
here, we honored 50 of our backers by naming one of the 50 machine sets after them and saying that the machine set was backed by blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And in certain cases, for example, we have an NBA basketball game in our banks, and it was backed by someone. Who was it?
I think it was Todd McAloach.
Right.
Somebody like
Some
McAloach.
guy named,
And it was
Honored.
It was either coincidence or not.
That was one of the best rounds I had.
The world will never know.
The world does not care.
But hey,
some players ended up on their banks.
Mhm.
Like they're like, hey, like Jim Belcito, who was eliminated, who is not eliminated. He's not eliminated yet. He's still here. he had a bank named after him, ended up on in the first round, wondered, so we just named the bank after one of the players in the group. Like, no, not really.
Well, hey, my name's not on one of them. That's fine. I mean, Mark's shown snapshots of my website on this Twitch stream enough already, so that works for me.
What did we just
Thanks,
see there
Mark.
from Andre? We saw the ball
See a
off
little
that
keynote
that
going
post action there.
Little bit
Little
of
fist
chill
bump, little
maneuver.
fist bump.
Oh, 99 million
Whoa.
bonus for
What did we
Andre
just see?
A
Massenkoff.
little bit of button love there with a little bit of an interesting little tidbit in the game. Bone, you want to talk a little bit about that little button below the plunger?
Absolutely.
There's a tiny little button that you see Andre push a lot, and all the players push it. In fact, the rule card indicates it too. You can cheat the games. It's casino.
Cheat it.
Cheating's
This
all
is
right
part
at
of
this
the game.
casino.
You could get your fingers broken if they catch you.
That only happens if you leave the fingers inside while the mechanism is moving up and down.
The playfield comes down.
Correct.
But they will get your fingers that way. But you can earn extra points in games by using the little orange button below the plunger on the right side. You can see it on the screen as Jim Belcito walks up for ball 2. And pushing that button will sometimes, it's actually once every 4 times trying, starting with the 4th time, you will get a cheat that awards a bonus in the game. In the case of Andre, he used it in the best possible way to cheat on Keno. And I'm pretty certain he knows the rules and knows that the 4th cheat works.
He was counting
And
4.
he was
He
making
knew that
sure
was
that
it.
the 4th cheat would be the one that gave him the maximum reward. He
You're
also
gonna
has
cheat, you wanna make it
casino. He
count.
also has casino run ready. So you look at his score at 700 million. He has the opportunity to earn another billion points off casino run. But that was fun.
That was nice.
That was
Roberts.
risky business.
That is-
double danger.
Oh, he is somehow still alive. And then the chill maneuver. And he needed another. He needed a second chill maneuver, unbelievably, to bring that back. That is ridiculous.
Did you coin the chill maneuver?
No, certainly not.
That's impressive. I like that.
That is,
Ice
I
box.
certainly did not coin that, but that was
chill
ridiculous.
maneuver.
He
Fantastic.
got one chill, and then he had to flip a raise, and if he had it lowered, amazingly, it would have come back. That's unbelievable.
So what do you have to do in the chill maneuver?
Do nothing, and the ball returns to you off the center post. You'd have to trust your instincts.
Like the comedian Mike Birbiglia said, what I should have said was nothing.
Nothing.
Pinball, what I should have flipped was nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, there's a couple of really important times when doing nothing is the right thing to do, and one is if it's screaming towards one of these center posts. You have to judge very quickly whether the ball is actually going directly to the center or near the center, because the post isn't going to push it right back up all the time. It's going to bounce off it wherever it wants to.
Yeah.
And if you're wrong, even by a fraction of an inch, you look like a Dumbo.
Yep.
Because you just let the ball go and you lost.
Yeah. Don't chop block yourself.
Yeah, it's you got to chill out. And
Shoot
at
here
the
and
only
here.
appropriate times.
All right. We have Robert going for the instant open. Nope, he's going right for the
Oh.
casino game.
Yeah. So 4 casino games will like
What
run.
is dice game wager?
He's
Dice
trying-
game wager is what is it? Bumpers control that.
Bumpers do
Bone,
raise that.
Can you talk about why most of these players appear to go for the double or nothing under the ramp rather than maybe taking the money and running?
Yeah, so it's relatively small points. Like, he just got 96 million, but for a guy who has 3.6, this is a drop in the bucket as he drains there. But the first time you're going through the game saucers, collecting double or nothing also lights the next round immediately. Usually you have to make the ramp shot, which is a difficult shot all the way about and back, around the back of the game. It's a bit more dangerous. It can return screaming at you if you don't hit it just right. But if you double or nothing go under the game saucer, go under that ramp, you will relight the game saucer immediately.
Correct.
This
And
is
also-
sort of a dash to that first casino.
That's true. I mean, but and also if you have failed to double or nothing, and you find the ramp is down and you need to hit that ramp in order to relight the casino game. Jackpots, see the little white arrows above the Keno card. In tournament mode, I don't know if this is 100% true, but I know it's true when I played it. In tournament mode, if the saucer is not lit and you hit a white arrow, the saucer will light for you.
That is correct.
Okay, so good to get that confirmation. So if you do not want to try to shoot the ramp, or if you can time that so that the white arrow happens to be on a space in the Keno card where you need lights to show up, you can time it and get 2 jobs done in one: light the next game and make progress on your card. This is another little subtle part of the strategy of Jackpot.
The more you know.
Yeah, and this is again what the software designers were able to do, not having to worry about like what the playfield is going to look like,
Right.
and whether they could take the layout of this great game the original Pinbot designed by Barry Orsler, and say, what could we do with this?
Right, it's like
How can we
it's like if you
turn
already
this
had
on its
it's like you already had a well-established video game, and you're gonna make some high-quality DLC for it.
Yeah.
Like say Call
This
of
is
Duty.
great DLC for Pinbot.
So
I think
this is Super Pinbot Deluxe Puzzle Fighter
Puzzle
Edition.
Fighter
Is
Edition
DLC
Turbo now Turbo.
Turbo DX.
Is DLC the one that did the Chasing Waterfall song?
No,
Was that
no,
DLC?
it wasn't. That was not. No,
No.
Left Eye was not. Neither Left Eye nor any.
However,
and we have a left
this
eye
game
here in
does
There
Japan.
it is.
There's a left eye,
there's
baby.
a shot to the left
See,
eye
I
right
won't
there.
I won't even take credit for the segue. Yes,
No,
I
you
will. Yes, I will.
It's interesting on the DMD here when you start this the second multi-ball. You know the animations will throw 3 balls coming at you, and you launch one, the 2 come into the eyeballs. Well, when I first bought this game, I was a newbie, as they say, and I'm playing this game, and I see the animations show 3 balls coming at me, and I only get 2 in the first multi. So I called the tech and I said, I think you got me a broken game. It's obviously clearly showing me this should be a 3 ball. I'm getting 2. Something's wrong. He came and checked it out. Everything was fine. The only thing that was hurt was my intelligence.
And you see the excellent play that Damien just did.
Damien
Please
just
explain
used
that. Yes.
the concept of having the ball sort of not in play. The other balls won't kick out until Damien hits 3 things on the playfield, and so he's trying to
So that's
basically
one.
hit those 3 things as best as possible. He's going to try to post transfer here, probably put it from the right to the left, and then shoot under the right to the jackpot there. Missed it, so now the balls are going to come out.
Did people know that before Kaylee? Did Kaylee just sort of make that popular?
Kaylee George of Seattle is certainly the master of
Subtlety.
the 3 switch maneuver, as it's called sometimes. But this was a pretty common tactic for a while. Jackpot, though. There's a super
Nice.
from Damien, 450.
He's on his way.
He is on his way, and 9 jackpots to the Mega Visor mode, which is worth an enormous number of points if he can get there.
And notice the right one's still lit because he did it in the right order. He got the left one, then the right one. So he's got another opportunity at a super.
We got a very knowledgeable crowd here as well, and so they know exactly what he's got at stake and what he can do.
Okay.
Bad bounce there, and the multiple ends, but another 200 million jack puts him at 1.4. So he is. That was
Nice.
a nasty rollout out of the bumpers.
Oh, trying to get the instant open.
But
He got it. He got it
the
off the
instant open
side.
Off the side.
Off
Almost
the
that is
Fantastic.
that is highly skillful here by one of our 4 finalists. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to talk about Damien's shirt.
No, I haven't.
But Damien is representing the Bay Area, and this is a shirt made by Matt Gauslin of Free Gold Watch, a shirt
50%
factory
polyester.
and now massive pinball arcade in San Francisco, and it celebrates the wide variety of pinball leagues that are available in the Bay Area. There's the original Bay Area Pinball Association with that logo in the middle.
Did you start
The San Francisco Pinball Department, the Bells and Chimes All Women's League. Nice ball there by Damien. East Bay Pinball, as well as Damien's own Capital Carter Pinball League in the far East Bay as you're on your way towards Sacramento. Capital Carter has been around for 7 seasons now, and the Bay Area Pinball Association has been around all the way back since 1993-94.
Who started that one?
A huge pile, I don't recall, a huge pile of pinball going on
And
in the
that
Bay
was-
Area.
that was
I
a lot of
may
names
have
you
been
mentioned.
involved in that.
You may have had
Maybe.
something to do with that.
But it takes
A village.
yes, it takes a village. It takes a village to raise a pinball league.
It needs to
As
be
long as they
fostered.
behave themselves.
I've
As long
talked
as the
to
villagers behave themselves.
I've talked to more people here at Pinburgh that
It
now
does-
have
it
leagues
does-
in their city. It's awesome to see the growth and people just making things happen where they live because they want pinball around them, and it's part of this resurgence. And now we're getting to see 4 of the top players right now duking it out of 400. That's a much lower percentage than actually started here. I mean, this is the cream of the crop, the tip of the top.
This is the 1%.
This is literally.
Literally.
Yeah,
And
quite
we
literally
are
the
Occupy
1%.
broadcasting booth
Occupy
right now.
Papa?
Occupapa.
The 99% are watching as Andrei Masikov has Casino Run ready to go. Now, what about
Okay.
nerves at this situation, Todd?
Well, definitely nerves. The shot becomes more difficult when you need it, and
Nice.
when I'm
Let's
playing
play the Jokers wild.
when I'm playing a team with Bo and Cairns, I had a big shot. He was smart enough to say, Todd, you need to hit that shot 3 times. So I routinely hit it thinking I needed 3 more times. I hit it. He said, great job, Super Jackpot. So now I'm trying to do that myself by saying, you know what, I need this shot, but I'm going to pretend like it's routine. And I think players like Andre and some of these guys that play extremely well in the clutch must have some sort of mental little keynote to somehow calm themselves down and realize this is an important shot, but I'm not going to make it seem like it's bigger than it is. It's just a shot. I've made it a million times. I'm going to use my muscle memory and activate a certain part of my brain. I had been watching something talking about, why do people miss small putts, little oopses, and why do people miss penalty shots? And they say when you get nervous, it starts to activate a part of your brain that activates when you're learning a new skill, rather than something that's happening where you're very comfortable. And I think these guys know how to activate the right part of their brain to make it seem routine and bring home things that in normal humans in pressure situations would not be able to do.
Absolutely. And we got here Andre spinning and winning, and he can collect these points.
Going.
He does not get these points unless he chooses collect.
I almost want to telepathically tell him to hold both flippers in.
If a bomb comes up, he could lose it all. Oh, there's a free jackpot.
What happens if you hold both flippers in?
If you hold both flippers in, it's possible that the cow might show up.
Risk it all, baby.
He's not worried about the cow right now.
The cow gives you $500 million.
Does it really?
That's a good sign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the reason I'm not in the finals.
I mean, since this game was made by the same company that made Mortal Kombat had a little secret code in it. And one of the secret codes says hold both flippers. And they're referring to this very game. If you hold both flippers during the casino run, while you're spinning, it's possible that the cow might show up.
Really?
And if the cow shows up.
This is news to me. Here's an interesting decision point for Andre. If he risks it, he has to make another shot within 16 seconds. I want more.
More.
Oh, that was quick.
Isn't
Good.
There something on Creatures
But
in Black
there's also, here's
like
the bomb.
Cheat it.
Oh, no, cheat.
No money. No trip to Sweden. No $1,000 in cash. Time to play the audience game.
He will get to play again, but he has to go all the way back around. So that is a big loss of points there by Andre.
Ouch.
And the bomb came. It's just a risk you take. You can also use that extra ball button to cheat and remove a bomb, but it doesn't work every single time. And in this case, it did not work because it was not one of the cheats that would work. So he used that cheat to cheat on Keno instead of cheating at Casino Run. And in doing so, it cost him.
Cheaters never prosper.
Cost him
$1 billion.
Over 600 million points
there.
there.
Over 600.
That's going to leave a mark.
Yeah, so the slot machine here is a good choice. Andre also knows in this game that if you flip the left flipper, you will change the mode on the game. And in this case, it gives him Pinball Poker, which is not very valuable. Second time through the modes, players tend to cash in their awards instead of doubling or nothing because they would no longer get the free lights of Game Saucer by collecting the double or nothing. Oh, get that out of there.
Whoa.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
I thought I was going to reward him on that because that was a great play. Oh, I thought about it. Oh, so close. Well done, Andre. Yeah, definitely round of applause deserved just for that attempt to save the ball.
That all day to lost for Andre Masikoff there, and he ends the game he ends the game with over $1 billion points.
Right.
So we're like, oh man, only $1 billion.
Only $1 billion. Meanwhile, Robert has $4 billion.
Yeah, Robert's
wow.
saying pretty at
3.9. Let's not exaggerate.
Yeah,
right?
he's not quite at $4 billion. That would be a mind blower. He's only got 3.9.
He's only got this. No, that's all. Let's see. Where is he? Does he have?
That'd be like telling someone they're 40 years old instead of 39. You got to get that right.
40's the new 30.
Oh.
So we're waiting on Jim Belcito. And why are we waiting here? What are we waiting for?
Are we on the clock?
That significant move just caused the tilt bob to move a little bit under the game. So it's going to give it some time to settle. I don't know if there's a time limit. I don't think there is, but
who is responsible with designing the tilt? Was it Bob? Is that why you guys keep saying Tilt Bob? I mean, is that name getting credit, or was it Harry Williams?
It was Bob or Harry. It was Harry Williams who actually called it the stool pigeon.
He did.
It was going to tell you the truth about whether you put the.
Oh, you did it! I'm gonna tell on you.
You did it. I'm telling you. It was basically just it was a little mechanism to tell someone that they had moved the game too sharply.
Mm-hmm.
In the old flipperless games in the 1930s. And before then, the operators used to put like nails under the game or just bolt the game to the ground or to do things to stop players from just sliding the game all over the place. There was no rule against it. Or picking the game up so the ball went up instead of down. So the tilt was invented, and the actual name tilt was created by a player.
Mm-hmm.
It was like,
wow.
I did it, and it just tilted. It's like,
It happened so long ago. I think it was probably Rick Fritz. He was
And-
probably the player. Was an old man.
and Harry Williams looked at this and said, "That's a good name.
It's like, you've got something there.
Let's go with
Let's
that."
write
I'm going
that
to
down.
coin it and give you no royalties.
And tilt, as far as the pop culture of pinball, the tilt and the pinball wizard concept are probably the two things that carry over most into pop culture. You see it in Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Right.
You see it all over the place.
Pinball Wizard has a song. We need a song called Tilt.
Yeah, we do.
He's a Tilt
Yeah,
wizard.
we do. Just so that when news people do special interest pieces, they can use a different song other than Pinball Wizard.
Yeah,
That seems to be the only song they use.
think we listen to that song 24/7.
Oh, that was
Nice,
very
there's the
pretty there by
super.
Super
He's on
by
his way.
Jim, and that actually, I think it skips him over both Andre and Damien.
Skips
There's
him by
another
Luke.
chance for another
Yes,
triple.
oh.
Oh, very close
Oh.
there. Now, what do you do after this? You got the eyes cleared out.
The eyes have it.
Gotta shoot in the game saucer to relight
The game
those
saucer
jackpot
in the back.
opportunities in
There's
the
a
upper left
relight.
corner.
You can also shoot the right target.
Ay, ay, ay.
Just get it back. Just get it back. Okay. He's fine.
Yeah, that's a solid multi-ball. He has not quite passed Damien yet, but realistically on bonus he'll have it. Especially this will be a 50 million shot if he can hit the
Hits the
flashing
instant
light
open.
here. Boom,
Instant open
50 million
complete.
free. That's a guaranteed second place now for Tim Belcito. Players play wins and losses in the 4-game series. So
Players typically prefer wins to losses, but it really is up to the individual player which one they want more of.
it can be up to the other players too, man. I mean, I bet they'd all prefer 3-0 right now, but it's going to be an 0-3 start for Andre Masinkoff, 1-2 for Damian Charlty. Jim guaranteed at least 2 wins here, and he is chasing down Robert Gagnon at $3.9 billion. This is game 1 of the 4-game Pinburgh final. The winner of this final will get $7,500 and the Pinburgh Cup. I'm Bowen Cairns. With me is Todd McCulloch and Steve Bowden.
Hello,
Boy,
everyone.
would I like
It
to
is
get a piece of
Pinball
that.
Day. It is Pinball Day in Pittsburgh, ladies
Man,
and
it's
gentlemen.
always a good day to be here at Papa headquarters. This place is amazing.
Shoot under ramp for 268 million points.
I'm
Boom.
done. No problem.
Oh, yeah.
No problem. No
Yeah, let me
nerves.
do that
Nothing.
like it's my job. Oh, wait, he
Oh.
is in this industry.
Wow.
What does Jim do?
Jim operates like 1,100 games or something ridiculous. He works his tail off and puts these games in places, and he runs tournaments, and he operates, and I take my hat off to usually when I go to sleep, for one thing. But I'm a small-time operator, and I never want to have as many games as Jim have. But I'm glad that he does that for all the great people of California to be able to go and play. And people like Jim, these hobbyist, passionate operators are ones that keep their games playing great. And part of the reason this resurgence is happening is there's so many new operators here that are players that come here that care about their games, and people are realizing how much fun these games are.
Oh, but he still has second. He passed it.
Two or three
That was a good move.
quick shots there off of the visor, and he was able to recover from the first 2, but the third one went screaming down the right. Robert Gagnon, the winner of game 1, 3-0.
Robert
Jim
Gagnon.
Belcito with 2 wins. It was second place, and followed by Damien with 1 and Andre Masinkoff with 0. If you'd like to look at the standings from previous rounds or the live standings of this round, you can go to pinburgh.com, pinburgh.com. Scroll all the way down, and you'll be able to click through to the standings. We are playing 4 games across from left to right. The next game is Prospector, a apparently Laurel and Hardy ripoff game from
Yes.
No
Europe
royalties
in the
necessary.
1970s. But it is a great game. And what a transition this is. This is 18 years of transition from 1995 to 1977.
We're going back in time.
This game was created by Sonic the Hedgehog.
Apparently, by the color scheme, I would agree. Yeah, it looks like something out of the Green Hill Zone that someone just threw together and threw up on a playfield. That's an excellent call, Bowen. I'll never get that out of my head. Thank you. This is Sonic's game. I mean, but again, we mentioned this before. I mean, just the transition between the high-powered, high-speed action of Jackpot to the, I guess, slower, a little bit more plodding action of Prospector.
A little more floaty.
Will these
Or-
players be able to transition the gameplay styles, and some of the tricks that work on a modern game will not work here?
Well, Steve, how are we supposed to answer that question when the guys haven't even played yet? Clearly, we don't know if those guys are going to be able to do it. We're going to have to
We
watch
shall
and see.
see.
What do you approach differently in a game like this?
Well, first of all, this game is going to be even more about control, a little bit more about control than Jackpot is. I mean, even though it's a little bit slower, it's going to be even more important to get that first catch, especially on games like this, to avoid house balls. I mean, because he's still not in control, just to be able to make that first decision.
Yeah, so he's just trying to get the ball on a flipper here, really.
He will have it,
Or
he will not have it, and therein right there is my career in electromechanical machines.
therein lies the
Getting
catch.
the plunge and then getting the ball. That's my first get. That's what I want, and often I don't get that.
And
That's
once
what
you
we
get
all
it, you
want.
can then
Once you
make
get
some
it.
decisions about what to go for. The critical shots in this game, I think there are 3 of them. The first is the shot on the left lane, marked with gold bonus. It's all the way on the left of the machine, just a rollover. But you can aim at that rollover from the flippers, and it's worth 10,000 by itself. It can be doubled to 20,000 by shooting the numbers 5 and 6. They appear as targets on the right-hand side of the game. They also appear as the lanes that fall to the flippers at the bottom of the bottom of the game. But you usually can't pick those up on your own. You just go through them. But you can hit the 5 and 6 on the right. What most players do is shoot the spinner right through the middle. One of the 2 spinners, in this case the left, is lit for 1,000 to spin, and Robert plugs it right there. Cash money.
Cash.
And Robert will generally continue shooting the spinners until the cows come home or until the ball goes down the middle, whichever comes first.
Speaking of cows, did you hear they might do an update for Creature of the Black Lagoon? Move your car.
Oh.
Sorry, too soon?
That ain't right. So how have you seen any differences in Robert on the older machines like the CM versus a modern machine?
He definitely he's good at both styles. I mean, we have the advantage when playing the VRP. Actually, ironically, Prospector is one of the games that's at the home of one of our local league members, and so we're able to play this at least once a year. And it's kind of strange because you don't see a lot of these in collection. So Robert definitely has some game experience on this game, and very accurate at nailing that spinner. So Robert does very well in classics competitions, very well in modern, and a unique event like this that forces you to play on all of them really bodes well for the skill set that Robert has across a wide spectrum of pinball abilities.
Now, I haven't noticed this during previous plays on this game, but I just wanted to ask you guys to see if you've noticed. Is it possible to alley pass the 5 and 6 on this game, or do the barriers sort of block that from happening? Have we seen that attempted on Prospector thus far?
So an alley pass is an attempt to hit the flipper directly into those 5 and 6 lanes by kind of getting them to go through and then up. First of all, that's super dangerous because if it goes up all the way up and out,
It must come down.
it's going to come down in several potentially bad ways.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen anyone successfully do it because the lane guide is
Yeah, it is so low. You can see
the lane
it's
guide's
so
low, and then it kind of goes at an angle and then turns a sharp corner. And we go to see Meteor Game 4, you'll see the same kind of lane guide have a very smooth curve to it, which allows those alley passes to work very well.
This
as
angle appears
Andre loses a ball off of no fault of his own, just a bounce into the right out lane. And a game like this, you're kind of just getting as much as you can before the game shuts you off, really.
Right. Mm-hmm. Kind of hoping to get to that 100,000 so that, okay, maybe you have designs on that double bonus if you haven't gotten it already.
So what's going on with these lights in the middle with the silver and gold?
Well, the silver up top builds up throughout play. There are many lit rollovers and other objects that build up the silver bonus, but that only raises to 10,000, which isn't very significant when you consider the gold bonus, which is in increments of 10,000 apiece.
There's some gold bonus right there.
Right, you get gold bonus through a couple of rollovers near the bottom, and also that very key left lane that Bowen talked about earlier. So you build the gold bonus up to 100,000 points, and it's that bonus that can be doubled. You can collect the silver bonus via the center saucer, but again, it just sort of happens as you play.
How do you collect the gold bonus?
You drain.
Oh, really? Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, there's no way to collect the gold bonus other than losing your ball. So there we go. Collect the gold bonus.
So hopefully you're draining with 200,000 in gold. There's gold in them there.
So what do you need to do to get that max collect? That's the goal of the ball on Prospect.
Well, do a lot of left, I guess you call that the left orbit. That increments it. There's also a button at the top, a couple of buttons near the top, which can increment the gold bonus.
Yep.
There's also a gold bonus rollover near the bottom, like I guess it's near the silver bonus areas. There's one on the left and one on the right.
And they alternate. So the left, right, left. Now it's left again.
Oh, that was close.
Robert almost got that back.
Wow.
He's got some killer saves. Obviously, the side to side, the shaking becomes very important on these old games where those outlines can be murdered. There's not often posts there with rubbers. There's just a lot of dead wood along the side of the game, and when the ball hits it, it usually just goes straight down, and that's where the subtleties and some of that very accurate shaking can bring the ball back into play, and you really see a unique set of skills that makes some of these players extremely good at this era of games, and Jim Belcito also has a wide range of knowledge on different eras and excels in these style of games.
It becomes very valuable to see if it starts going side to side, to see if you can just maybe bang the side of the machine hard enough to maybe get some English
So
off
right
of it.
there.
Oh.
Right there, you could and I see that from some players, especially say the sharps, but an increasing number of players are banging their hands into the wood on the sides of the games to try and give the ball more momentum. And
because there's nothing over there, like there's all wood there. There's nothing. There's no post. There's nothing. So you'd have to do something to get it out of there when it's hanging out on the left or right out lanes.
It's very challenging, but one of the many varieties of nudges that a player can do. And even the stances of the players as well kind of dictate what kinds of action they're going to take on a game. See, Andre gets very low to the game. He tries to take an angle on shots at all times, and he's ready with his hands to make a nudge in any direction. I don't see him push the side of the cabinet very often.
So you're saying his stance is dictating that he's going to have less of a propensity to actually do physical action, drastic physical action to the game. Whereas someone who is maybe standing straight up on the game would have more likely be to do those sort of drastic moves.
Yeah, I feel that way. And one example of that is Andy Rosa, where if you see Andy Rosa on the game, you see what he can physically do to a game
without tilting.
Right. He has tremendous upper arm strength and uses that upper arm strength to manipulate the game in ways where you look at the game and you're like, "There's no way anybody should be able to get away with that." And he knows that little bob inside the machine is going to rotate left and right at whenever it's floating, and by shaking the machine in very specific ways, you can stop that bob from ever getting to the edge of the walls that tell you that it's tilted. And I've seen just some amazing things from him. And then some players will just try to shake it almost in desperation at times, when if you're not going to lose many points from bonus, you might as well go for it.
Might as well do something.
But
exactly.
Have you ever seen anyone shake and bake with the machine? Is
Shake
that
and
a
bake?
common strategy?
Yeah, it's a delicious dinner.
We're having chicken tonight, baby.
Oh, get that, hit that. That could have been an example, I think, right? Maybe a little bit of a nudge might have helped them there.
There was
What do you think?
some real difficulty there, and that's I hate the feeling when the ball is in that slow death roll.
Yeah,
I get that feeling a lot.
and you can see the pain coming.
You see it coming and a
come on.
direct house ball for Robert Gagnon. A house ball, just no chance whatsoever for him to do anything with that.
Pasco, do not collect bonus.
Do not collect more than 10,000 gold.
Exactly.
So where are we here? We are on ball 3, player 3, with Jim Belcito up now. This is a 5-ball game on an electromechanical machine. So this is not the last turn. We'll play 2 more turns besides. And the scores have not been great so far, compared to some of what we've seen in the earlier rounds, but we've also seen a huge propensity for house balls and bad bounces here. Players are not playing poorly at all. Hey, Jim's now they got a hold on the right. Where's he going?
All right, give me some gold bonus.
Bonus.
That's 10,000 plus a 5,000 additional.
But man, I mean, like, he made no mistakes there.
He was rewarded with garbage. I mean,
that's what EMs do.
He made a shot. You understand people watching? That's a made shot, clearly, and he was rewarded with garbage. Welcome to electromechanical machines.
And I think for myself, and I think for Todd as well, when we were learning about pinball, the shots on games tended to be more friendly, where you made a shot and it would return to a flipper. You made another shot, it would return to a flipper, and you get just used to shot making, and then you sit there and watch the shot go, because if you make a shot, nothing bad can happen to you. In this game, forget it. You make a shot, you better get ready, because game is going to rip you off a good percentage of the time. But even at the top of the game, the player does have the ability to nudge and can know. That was very nice there by Andrei Masenkov.
Gets that 6. It's tough to come by. It can be very valuable.
Now hopefully he can build up his gold bonus enough to where that 5 might come into play. That is, if he doesn't hit it by accident along the way.
The 5-6 will double the bonus, the gold bonus. There's 20, and it sometimes flops around into that saucer on the right, but that just collects the silver, which would be 10,000 again. Getting it on the right is nice. You'll see the same shot here from Andre. Probably, I don't think he's going to miss this again.
That is just a
Two
smooth
straight.
shot.
And that shot seems so tight, but again, it's smooth when you make it.
You've got that
Great.
nice long rail leading up to it, so while he is almost perfect in those shots, even if he's a little bit late, it should ride up that
Nice
rail through the
save.
switch.
And what are you using that for? You're talking about the rail?
The rail just it just sort of guides the ball there, and so a long entry rail like a modern game like Iron Man makes it so you don't have to be 100% perfect, but the result ends up being much the same with a shot going through there and tripping that switch.
And he goes for the 5, picks up the double bonus. This is the best ball we've seen from anyone so far.
All
And again,
right,
you know,
nice.
the reward there.
The reward there was 40,000 worth of gold, but along with the aforementioned garbage that I mentioned before.
Doubling the
Off a made
bonus. And that
but you
shot,
doubled
that
the bonus.
5-6 can be worth anywhere from 10 to 100,000 extra, depending on how long you played your ball. And so the prospector
Right.
of picking up those points shifts over to the 5-6, especially if you can pick up a 5 or 6. That's nice
That's
there.
good. Over and back for 20,000 gold.
Over and back.
And a
is
free
bad enough.
5,
Right.
almost a 6
Oh, he was
there.
looking at the 6. He looked at it.
I'm looking at the 6.
Oh, that looked like a hit, but
That sure
Why
looked
is that
like-
light still on?
the game said no.
Wow. He just got deep 6.
I get some of these where you hit the number 6 that's there, not the actual target behind it, and you think, God, I hit that.
I
That
hit
was
the
a
6.
and a nice on the fly shot from Damien.
He's got some good gold building up here. Oh, there's a 6 for double bonus.
Hey.
A little pointed at it. Yeah, a little recognition by him.
Yeah, give me
Yeah.
a little something.
Okay, so now going for gold bonus is
Gold
even more
time.
valuable, and kind of
Oh,
oh!
wow. He's still alive. Collect that silver, but it's all about the gold now.
Silver.
It's
and
all
gold.
about
For
the gold.
baby.
More gold.
Never enough gold.
So he's got 60,000, and that's going to be doubled. And
That just went to 80,000.
what else? There's something else you do at this point in the way you play the game that changes here, which is you just kind of tense up, but you realize that tilting is a really bad idea.
Right.
You feel good about where you're at.
Yeah, tilting is almost not even an option now when you're carrying 160,000 worth of gold.
Like there, that was
Like
a little
there,
bit
that was-
dangerous.
that
But
was
the best
too
ball
bad.
of the game here for Damien Charlty. He has 1 win through the first game. We were playing a 4-game series here at the Pinburgh Finals in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 400 players down to 4 players. The winner of this gets $7,500. Their name in the rafters, the Pinburgh Cup. Robert Gagnon playing now leads with 3 wins, having won the first game on Jackpot.
Leads.
Yeah.
You got any leads?
You kind of leads. Yeah, we got a squad working in the broadcasting booth, working in shifts.
He's got some leads right now, but
I thought you were talking about the Glengarry leads. That was the only leads I've distributed.
now that was Thursday, where the last place person was fired
Ah,
in each round of the
right,
circuit final.
exactly.
It's like Survivor.
First place is $100. Last place is you're fired.
You're fired.
We were circuit final was inspired by both Glengarry Glen Ross and the WWF Royal Rumble.
Right.
And
Over the
Donald
top
Trump.
rope.
Now we've got Jim Belcito, ball 4. He is in 4th place by a little over 100,000. But with this game, you can put up 300K on a really good ball, and we'll see if he's got that ball in him here.
In the NBA, Jim Belcito's nickname would be, you take the first initial followed by the first 3 letters of your last name. This would be J Bell. J Bell is up right now.
Yeah, your nickname kind of got stolen there.
Yeah, the original T-Mac, baby.
All right, here's his first decision.
Where are we going here? We're going left?
We're going
yes.
loop, yep.
Perfect decision there,
More
I feel.
gold. More gold.
You be care, and if you just come from dinner, you might be careful.
Oh, 5.
Oh,
Thank you.
nice.
That was a fantastic little move there.
A little nudgy nudge.
As Jim sent it off that wall, and then he pushed it when it's off the wall. He pushes it back to the right,
Go for the wall.
Yeah.
and you can actually do worse there if you push it too hard off the wall to the right. You push it out and back in again.
Yeah, and you make it worse.
You make it worse for yourself, and you going like I just lost the ball.
Oh, give it back to him. Oh, he maxed out, though. He maxed
He
out
got
his
the full
goal.
100,000 doubled. He's going huge here.
He is in the game. He needed that just as a foundation for his next opportunity.
That ball was
is very
over.
important.
That was over 300,000 on that
Nice.
ball. 467,000 with one ball to go.
As you predicted.
And Andrei Mastenkov, player 4, he really needs to turn it around after game 1 where he finished last. If he doesn't win or take second here, he could be in danger of not being able to catch up.
Of not being a factor in the remaining games.
He's hoping to turn
Okay.
this around and being Andrew massive lead.
Yeah, it's Andrei's played fantastically. He played great in the circuit final as well. Just a really wonderful guy, and he won the Papa 14 World Championship 3 years ago now. Very humble about it, and
Kevin said
huge
it couldn't go to
smile.
a nicer guy, and he was absolutely right.
Andrei
Right.
works with hospitals and children in San Francisco. And
All
clearly he plays a lot of pinball on the side.
Very well. All right, here comes Andrei's first decision. More gold. Oh, almost a double gold.
And does the score of the other players ever factor into decisions at this point?
Not on ball. Not on Prospector and not on ball 4. I don't think. I mean, your goal remains the same. Give me double 100,000 gold, thank you, please.
Max my goal.
Right, just max my goal. You know, no matter what the scores are, the mission basically remains the same unless it's ball 5 and you know you only need X amount. But
Right.
by that time, you may be in trouble because you're thought about that score.
Yeah.
You don't want to get caught thinking about how much you need.
Sometimes you go, oh, I just need 20,000 here. I
And
got
then
this.
brick 10,000.
All you need to do is hit that
Brick.
shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just lost.
What Beavis?
Damien. Yeah.
All right. And quickly,
Damien
is
goes,
this
oh,
the
it's
final
quickest
ball?
5-6
oh,
we've
he
ever
collected.
seen.
He did. Oh,
and
but he
down the
does.
side,
does
tripped
get a little
double
bit.
30 though. Give him some distance.
All right.
That's a good
going
game.
for
650,300
Going
here.
for score.
That's a decent amount of breathing room in Prospector, especially if
Do you
Prospector.
hear that?
Prospector
That's
can bite
breathing
you.
room.
Prospector can definitely bite you when it wants to. So, 140 grand is a nice amount of breathing room in case Prospector decides to deal a house ball.
Right. And we'd like to just
Ooh,
say
nice.
about the luck and skill division, and a little bit of a bad decision there by Robert to flip away towards the left area, and it ended up bouncing to the right out lane, and that will lock him in for 4th here. So Robert, having won the first game, has finished last in the second game. That puts him at 3-3 overall, and
Plot
he will be
thickens.
right in the middle of things as we go to the final 2 games. But we'll see first what Jim Belcito does here, and then Andrei Mastenkov as player 4. The next game, right to the right there, is Funhouse. Fantastic game from 1990. And finally, we'll go over to Meteor from Stern from the early 80s. And at that point, we'll have either crowned a champion,
I hope they.
or we'll have a tie-breaking game. We've had a lot of tie-breaking games today.
I hope they follow up Meteor with Meat Eater.
Well, we could do that. I mean, Meteor, one of the only licensed games about this. But let's go over to
Oh,
what are you thinking
Jim.
here when it's your final ball? What do you want to be thinking about?
Well, you gotta keep in mind. I found myself in this position where I'll be the 3rd player, and I seem to be focused on getting ahead of player 1 and 2 when I have a higher score than 4. And I've gotten a little bit comfortable when I've gotten a higher score above players 1 and 2. I think it's gonna be enough, and player 4 comes back to beat me. So if you're Jim and you want to win this thing, you're thinking I got to build this thing up because I know Andrei Mastenkov is capable of huge scores. And so Jim was trying to not just play to get ahead of the finished players 1 and 2, but just to really push this thing.
Absolutely. Jim could finish 2nd here. He could finish 3rd, depending on what Andre does. So
Gosh darn it, Ricky
Andre's
Bobby,
got
you can even finish 5th. I
two.
was
Now
not
what?
in my mind when I said that, Ricky Bobby. Was not first or last.
It is. Well, it's not necessarily first or last.
You
but
either
second-
win or you
second
tilt
place,
trying to win, Bobby.
Second place is the first loser here.
That is true.
He is 3rd place now, though, and having only 1 win in the first game. He's got 2 in the bag here. He can pass Jim Belcito. He'll go to 3 wins
All
and
right, first
be
task
tied
is
with
past
Robert.
570.
And Prospector often just
Right.
has a lot to say about it. Just says no.
Oh, that was right
no.
off the edge of the
Oh,
flipper, and he
and
will.
he does
He
not
tilted out
have
that
it.
bonus.
He tilted out the bonus.
He wouldn't have had
did
it
not
on the
have
bonus
enough, right?
anyway,
Okay.
so it was a very smart decision on his part to make a strong move to see what would happen there.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think that was the right call altogether. So Andre finishes third on the game, second for the second time in a row. He will have 2 wins going into Funhouse. Robert Gagnon has 3 wins going into Funhouse. Jim Belcito, who finished second on Jackpots, finishes second again. So he has 4 wins. And
Strong.
Damian Charlty, having finished last in the opening game of Jackpot, turns it around in Prospector. So we had a direct flip from Jackpot and Prospector for Robert and for Damian. They are tied at 3-3. The leader right now is Jim Belcito of Southern California. He had 4 wins, is 1 game ahead, but it's all to play for, really. It's 4-3, 3-2 after 2 games.
Right, no one is out of it by any means,
Right.
especially in a 4-game format. It's not like if you have a 3-game format where you say, well, 6 is probably a winner. Here we got to think about 7 at least before we start talking about tiebreakers.
Yep, and you can't win unless you have at least 7 because 6-6 is the average. You could have a big tie at 6-6. That would be interesting to play one final game for it all.
Everything.
We actually had a situation where we could have had a 4-way tie in the semifinals.
Right.
But in the end, Escher lost out by 1 to Yorian and Andre, who then played off. Andre taking the playoff. We are at Pinburgh 2014, about to play Game 3 of the finals on Bowen Cairns. Steve Bowden and Todd McCulloch here on the call. We are going to play this game and then Meteor. After those games, the winner will take home $7,500. There's $4,000 for second, $2,500 for third, and $1,500 for fourth. So don't shed any tears for the other players.
That ain't hay at
But
all. Wow.
for all 4 of these players, I'm dead sure they care more about the honor and the trophy and the rafters.
But they're not going to turn down the
Then
cash,
about
I'll
that,
tell you that
yeah,
right
they
now.
may
Right,
not
the
turn
money's
down
there.
the cash.
The
Not
money's
being
there.
given back.
I mean, Robert, if he takes that back to Canada, what is that? You multiply by 1.8 and subtract $32. Is that how it works?
Take a little off the top for the queen.
Fun
Or
house.
is it? Or you have to divide by 1.8? Which is it? I mean,
I don't know which one
Is
it
it
is
one?
now.
It's a little
is-
weaker. It's a little weaker than
It's
it's been.
1.6 kilometers to the dollar. Or what?
I don't like running that far.
They say you run a 5K. Nobody in the U.S. knows what that is. So why do we say that? Why don't we just say let's run 3 miles?
Whoa, he is still. We missed
We-
there.
right off the
we
bat.
did off the bat a great save, but that's after Cliffy has already denied him once from the hole. There's
Boy.
a Cliffy protector there that skipped over the hole. So now,
There's another one.
so now it is not on quick multi-ball. Normally this game starts off with quick multi-ball and you have 1 shot to get into the game. He missed that shot, and now the light is no longer on quick multi-ball.
Well, let's talk about
So-
that save he made in the first 10
Wow.
seconds there. How do you do that?
Skill, kill with skill. I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Walking up to the
he-
game and being ready within 10 seconds for your life. It's like it's very strange
In the
because
final,
you walk up to the game and like, new game. All right, let's get settled.
and then oh my
5
gosh,
seconds later, you're in the woods.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's where that preparation comes before the ball. Players get mentally ready before they plunge it. Some guys just walk up, play, and that player might not be ready. But these guys are, once that ball is in play, they are on their toes, ready like a jungle cat.
And Damien's already made 3 moves there on that left side, making the correct decision all 3 times to save the ball.
All right, let's
It's
see.
good.
Got it.
Field goals
All right,
go up.
now, let's see how he handles the kick out. Does he know? He does not know yet. The kick out is basically the pinball arcade. Hold the right flipper up and it will come on the right flipper. Enjoy this, video gamers, because this will not happen again on another real game of Funhouse.
What
All right.
normally happens, Steve,
Hold.
if you held your right flipper up?
It may kick off the bottom of the slingshot and go ahead to the left. It may go up and over and travel down the right out lane. It may be friendly. Basically, general randomness and chaos should ensue. But on this particular example, it's right out of the pinball arcade. So
Yeah. Now I wonder if Damien's played Funhouse on the pinball arcade because he's making great shots and great saves, but he's not really earning a lot of points here. And some of that is what you said about quick multi-ball. We're not starting with quick multi-ball, but he's got the clock ready for multi-ball, 2 locks, and then the Rudy head will start the multi-ball. This is one of the very first pinball machines with a giant mechanical dummy head that you can bean in the mouth and it will yell at you.
The
creepy.
first of 2.
Creepy. All right,
A
it's
deliberately
midnight.
creepy head.
Creepy.
So, what do you do at midnight here?
Put
Go
it in
to
the mouth. Put him in the mouth. One in the mouth. Here it is.
Now, there was a prototype
In
of
the
a
mouth.
Funhouse where you hit him in the no.
Right. I was like, what version? I was really beginning to listen hard for this
Match game.
explanation. Oh, food on the table. Oh, he didn't cash it in.
In
I
the
like
blank.
food on the table.
It was right there.
All
All
right,
right.
get another
Set
shot
up
at
again.
it. And
Kick
In the
out
mouth.
from the hidden hallway.
Here we go.
one thing interesting there as the multi-ball begins is he made so many shots to the Rudy head earlier that helped him with that shot because he knew where it was. That was his 5th or 6th shot already to the Rudy head. And so it was an easy shot. But what will be a harder shot is the jackpot shot, which is below the Rudy head from the same flipper. He hasn't made that shot before the multi-ball. And so making it during the multi-ball will be a little more challenging. It's interesting there that he didn't choose to trap up like some players might. And he's down out the side.
Setting up for a
Is that right?
restart.
Restart.
Setting up for a restart. 12 seconds to get back into the hallway, which is next to Rudy on the left. The blinking yellow lock light saying, shoot me, please. Transfer works. Oh.
Bounce
Try
over
again.
works. Oh.
He'll have
2
one more
seconds
chance.
left.
One more chance.
Still got time. Back
Oh.
up. Nope. Ah.
A decent start.
So it's a solid score, but it's
Yeah.
also a lot of opportunity cost.
Right, because
He's played his first multi-ball. We're generally going to see everyone play at least one multi-ball here.
And one
Mike
of those
down.
multi-balls will probably be quick multi-ball, which is which he has not used yet. He hasn't used his quick multi-ball. However, the other 3 are really going to look at to cash in that first shot. Again, the very first shot is for quick multi-ball. I love this part of the rules in tournament mode, is that it's this high-pressure shot that you hit right now to start the game. If you hit it, you get to enjoy some ball time. If you don't, you pay the price. You're out of control.
Eject or die.
What's the benefit of picking off that multi-ball right at the beginning instead of waiting for it later in the game, perhaps?
Well, I think, especially in a high-pressure situation like this, if you can pick off a couple of millions, 3 or 4 or 5 million points in quick multi-ball, and put up a nice, decent score in ball 1, again, it really increases the pressure on your opponents to really do the same thing instead of really saving it for maybe a bigger opportunity, a quick multi-ball during a super frenzy or something. Again, you don't really want to play around like that. Not now. So do it now.
Do it now. He's doing it
Here
live.
it is.
It's a straightaway shot here from the
Do
right
it.
flipper. And it
All
bounces in.
right.
Got lucky there.
Cliffy assistance.
You
Right.
can also hit it in off the left flipper off of those hot dog targets as a carom. It's
hot dog.
nice geometry here by the Pat Lawler design. And this quick multi-ball is 2 balls. Hitting Rudy in the mouth is worth 1,000,000 points a shot. And you can also pick off 250,000 on the side on the ramp. But the Rudy is where it's at. And feeding the lock shot will feed you Rudy. So here comes a ball around to Rudy. Let's see if he gets it. Oh, a little too strong there.
All right, now we're looking for control and cradle separations. Here we go. The first of hopefully many for Jim.
And notice
All
here, he's playing this more controlled than we saw from Damien, trying to get the ball to one side. And
Whoa,
it's
that's 3
bouncing out of there.
consecutive in lanes.
And it's hard to tell if he was putting subtle nudging on that to make it do that, or if it just did that of its own accord. And that's there when he got a ball into that back hole. He knows it's coming out the right there, so he shot the other ball out of the way to get himself some room and separation. That's only one.
Only one in a quick 250 as the multi-ball ended, but again, he has definitely represented himself and compared to what player 1 has, so he's definitely back in it.
Down the middle with 2.3 million for Jim Belcito. And in some ways, it's hard to say who is actually ahead between them. You know, the
Right.
scoreboard clearly says 4 million to 2 million.
But opportunity cost, yeah. But the potential points, Jim has not done his first multi-ball yet. Damien has not done quick multi-ball yet.
right. And the value of the hallway multi-ball is higher than the value of the
Right.
quick multi-ball. Todd, you own a Funhouse, right?
I do. I do own a Funhouse, and it's a classic game. I don't play mine very well, but I really like this one. I got to play this in Pinburgh yesterday, and I really liked the way it played. And for me, I did phenomenally. I think I got 10 million, which I was very happy with. And Jody in my group decided to go with the 17 million. So this thing is playing very nicely, very fairly, and I love it. It's a classic game, and I love seeing Lawler back in the pinball business, about to design another game.
Andre bounces over to start the quick multi-ball there. A little bit of carom
right
in
off
there.
the hot dog. Just what you were talking about, right? I mean,
he was going from the left flipper.
Yeah.
He knows the geometry, and you talked about Pat Lawler design. That's deliberate. That's not by accident that those targets are aimed that way, so you can pull that off. All sorts of great geometry in this game. Pat Lawler and then Larry DeMar Software. Both Jackpot and Funhouse were part of a group selected by Greg Dunlap, one of the Papa TV Kickstarter backers, who decided to dedicate this group to Larry DeMar, software designer of both these games. He called the group Thank You, Larry.
Excellent.
And it had Jackpot, Funhouse, Black Knight, one of Larry DeMar's early efforts with Steve Ritchie, and then CardWiz, an EM favorite of Larry's.
An excellent set.
And some of you who know pinball, I always knew Larry DeMar as LED. I had no idea who the guy actually was. In fact, I thought he was just the designer of the light bulbs and the...
Yeah, during some of the credits, you just see LED by itself. And when I saw that, I said, I had no idea who
was LED. Is that one person?
Is that a code word? Is that a group?
Company?
Is that a cadre?
Is that a modern light design?
Is it sponsored by LED?
So I used to think like my LED alarm clock was designed by him.
By that entity, right.
And turns out it's Larry E. DeMar, who worked at Williams for a very long time. Great designer of pinball machines, such as doing the software on Barracora, Black Knight.
Oh, I love Barracora.
High Speed.
Adam's Family.
Funhouse.
Wow, just 8 games.
Twilight Zone.
Just 8 games.
World Cup Soccer.
Oh, stop it. Oh, my goodness.
Jackpot.
Just 8 game after 8 games. Stop it.
And
Why are you talking Canadian with all this A talk?
Just a man with a real gift for understanding what makes something fun.
He's made a career out of it.
And so one example is from Funhouse is on the right side, you can plunge the ball very softly, as we see Robert Gagnon playing quick multi-ball, trying for the millions on the Rudy shot. One example from Funhouse is you can plunge soft to get the ball to your right flipper right off the bat towards that area. But sometimes the ball bounces around and goes to the side.
Right. Just because it feels like traveling out of there.
And I guess Larry must have seen someone do this and get angry with the game and go like, hey, that's not fair. So when it happens to you in the game, Rudy says, hey, you can have it back.
Right, but only on the plunge,
and just hands it to you back again if you got bad luck right off the bat.
Right off the bat, but only then, though. Don't depend on it on any other time. Not after a lock, not after anything. Only when you get started.
Hey, Chucky.
You can't have it back.
You can have it back.
What a voice, Rudy.
I know. Often imitated, never duplicated. Maybe.
Does Coy do it?
Well, Coy does it great. I was just about to say.
Yeah. Some people can do a mean Rudy.
Rudy's not mean.
Rudy is mean.
Oh, he is.
He's a jerk.
He can be.
What is like little Chucky?
He tells you to hurry up and stuff, and then didn't he have to shoot him in the mouth, and he calls you a big sausage, whatever that means.
I'm sleepy.
He's evil.
He's just tired. He gets a little snippy when he's tired. He's hungry.
Oh, that's a nice little quick flip to get under control
marvel.
there.
Boy, some of these skill moves are very few players can pull off, and Robert pulls them off like nothing is going on. It's just like, yeah, that's just an average day on the job here.
Mirror time.
What's he got in store next year? He's playing a pretty good ball. No real danger yet. So what's he gonna do?
Well,
maybe that ramp right now.
Either ramp or maybe he might try some left orbits to build up some clock time. How active are his bumpers?
He's stopping
are they good?
for Superdog for lunch right now.
He's at 10 minutes of bumper. He could go in there and see about some time. Looks like he was doing that.
Yeah, I think so too. And what does the time do for you?
Well, that clock in the middle, you got to get to 11:30 to light lock 1.
So he's at 11:15, 11:20.
11:20.
And smart players will know that the lock gives you 10 minutes. So lock is actually lit right now.
Right.
It's not. Doesn't look lit.
I'm not one of those smart players you were talking about.
But it's one of those. It's one of those ridiculous things you pick up over playing pin for this long. Now it's 11:30 anyway, but he didn't need that from there. He could have gone directly for the lock. In any case, he's good enough that it hardly matters.
Great saves, great saves off the corner of the flipper.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the ball wanted to see if he can go up there for him, but not yet. It's going to need another control. Very nice, and now
Boom.
he's in.
And you may think that was just luck, but if you look very carefully, he was making some moves on the machine on almost every slingshot hit there. Every time the ball hit something in the playfield, he pushed the game and influenced that ball just a little bit. And the aggregate of all of those little bits turned into ball goes where I want it to go.
All those bits
it looks
turn
like
into bites.
It can look like magic.
He's got the moves like Jagger.
Get that. Nice job.
So pretty.
Right into the lock. He's rewarded for it.
Call that a poke check, a Canadian poke check with the end of that flipper bat, knocks it from the right to the left and knock it home with a slap shot. Some of our Canadian listeners will understand the analogy.
I hope so.
Now you got to go full plunge here, right, Bowen?
So he's got multi-ball ready. I try to
skill
plunge
shot. You
just
got
far
it.
enough.
Excellent.
That was beautiful.
Wonderful.
Starts multi-ball as Damien did. That jackpot is lit for $2 million to start, and a lot of players here will look at the balls flying around at the bottom and ignore the jackpot. But there it is for Robert. He
Cash
had
money.
2 balls in a ball down the bottom, floating around in danger, and he was still able to focus on the ball at the top. And
that is vision.
I've heard about Robert's ability to see the whole playfield at once, and that was a great example of it right there. Something that very few people are able to pull off. The casual players often just don't even know that flipper's up there, and then to use it exactly the right moment here in the finals at Pinburgh, it's terrific.
Is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it?
You will lose the jackpot.
On this, yes, you do.
Right.
And users are losers. But wait, no, those don't work together.
Bad luck, Double J. Bad luck. Those lemmings are gone. Follow the leader. Oh,
man.
But it's still an impressive score.
When life gives you lemmings, make lemmings 8.
You feel like there was any kind of error there, or is that just crazy happenstance?
No, I think it just happened. I mean, you could tell he really wanted to save it coming out of the left out lane there because he really didn't expect that second one to go.
I totally agree.
I wasn't expecting that second one.
That second one.
So
you're in the follow the leader. It was like they're magnetized.
You're in the pandemonium of multi-ball, and all of a sudden,
but life gives you lemmings. Say, forget the lemmings and bail.
Apparently,
I mean, it's like he got caught in that middle, in that in between moment between multi-ball and single ball. Like you're in multi-ball, you have that euphoria, that higher level of play. And then you're transitioning back to single ball. There's this moment of transition that happens mentally.
Yeah.
And the ball's left in that moment. It's tough to transition in there when the balls are just deciding, we're out. We're done. We're done.
It's like we were talking about on Prospector. You just want to get one trap.
Right.
If you're in multi-ball and you fall out of it, you get one trap, you're back in regular play. Damien has started the Super Jets here, which are flashing, and he's going right for them.
Excellent.
What's the point of this?
Is it 15 minutes a hit? That's on the clock, right? Isn't it?
Holy mackerel.
Either 15 or 10. I think it's 10, because if it's unlit, you don't get any time. Solid, it's 5, and blinking, it's 10, I believe.
Whatever it is,
it is a lot
of minutes. It's not very many points.
But he wants to get to 11:30.
Time is money, fellas. Time is money.
He wants to get to 11:30, and right now he is at about 7.
Why is time money?
I just mean, as he advances the time, it's getting him closer to multi-ball, and that's where the big points are at. So he's sacrificing some points now for the big score.
Oh, opportunity right here. He's got quick multi-ball ready again. Unreally got it.
He knows
He made up for it. So he missed it the first time, so now he is back. That's right. You deserve the point at the game. You deserve to point at Rudy for that.
Damien Charlty from the Capital Carter of Northern California. This is his first real major tournament finals, and here he is at Pinburgh, fighting for $7,500 in the cup.
I'll fight you for $7,500.
And he has fought off battle after battle. Yesterday, Friday, today, 4 rounds of finals.
Potentially fought off a cold early in the week too.
Playing beautiful, and
got him.
Oh, there's a million.
And it's unlimited. I mean, it is unlimited how many he could get right here.
How many can he get?
It's unlimited. That's the beauty of the word. As long as he's got 2 balls in play, which he no longer does.
Grace period coming up. Opportunity.
One for the camera.
Oh man.
but he got a mirror.
He does have another million lit. He fell into the mirror, which had the million lit anyway, and now he has Super Frenzy ready. You can notice the mirror. All the lights are flashing very happily. If he
There's
goes
the
in
million, you
there,
gotta bounce
he's got
in.
the million. If he gets into the mirror, then every target will be worth 100,000 per for about 30 seconds.
So if I were him right here, personally, I prefer to hold it off. Get your 2 locks first. Lock it up.
Oh,
Because
he's trying.
There's a big stack you can get between the 2 major features of the game, the Super Frenzy and the multi-ball. Super Frenzy is 100,000 a target for 20 seconds.
Get
Doesn't
out.
sound like a lot,
No, it does.
but 20 seconds you can get a lot going, especially if you got 3 balls at once.
I get a lot done. in
So
20
if you can
seconds.
coordinate those 2
Whoa.
and get the Super Frenzy while the multi-ball is running, you can pull a huge score at once. So I think he's trying to lock up the
That
balls
is
first.
exactly what he's trying to do. Oh, Rudy go.
And the
A
sauce.
little
There's
sausage
big
bonus?
Big
It's
sausage.
a total sausage fest going on here.
Well,
Sausage.
it is a 4-player sausage fest final here at Pinburgh, but we did have high qualifying female players throughout, as well as in our other divisional finals. So we've got Damian Charlton here collecting the bonus for that
All right,
sausage.
there's one.
A million.
He knows
Yeah.
it. We know he. Yep,
The
he
clap
knows.
and the sweat hand wipe.
He knows. We know his plan. We know his plan
Oh,
right
he knows.
there.
We knows what he's
So
doing.
here's
know
soft
it.
punch. He's choosing to try for the for the second lock here, and now it'll be a question
All
of whether he
right.
goes for the full score, which is to try and soft plunge to Super Frenzy before starting multi-ball.
When he does that soft plunge, it serves the right flipper. So let's call that soft serve.
It is a soft serve.
Getting hungry.
Will you stop talking about ice cream?
I can't help it. That's all I talk about.
Well, I get.
Oh, give him another chance.
Oh, and it's a drain.
Oh.
Halfway
Or
up the
is
ramp.
All right.
No, it is.
Yes, it is.
It's a drain.
Now the
baby.
penalty with that is that he does have to go back to 11:30 when he comes up, does he?
Yeah.
Does he not?
So there was a risk reward there. The risk is that by not starting multi-ball, he has to relock the balls. The reward, if he was able to pull that off, was to have the frenzy, the 100,000 to switch, all running during multi-ball. But excellent ball too by Damian Charlton, over 10 million points. We've got player 4, Robert Gagnon, with 6.5 million, also a solid score. And remember, at the end of all 4 of these games, will be one more game on Meteor. A champion will be declared for the Pinburgh Cup at $7,500 cash. I'm Bowen Cairns with Steve Bowden, Tom McCulloch. We're here at Pinburgh 2014, the largest pinball tournament ever held in the world.
But when is this game set up a little bit more difficultly than the game that was sort of in open pinball play? Have any adjustments been made for these top players in terms of trying to keep all times down a little bit, or has the machine been made more difficult?
Compared to a game that would be on location, the posts on the sides and the out lanes are higher than they would normally be seen. And I think that's one of the only modifications. The software is not being made any more difficult because we want to see players excel.
Yeah, I was
We
gonna
want
ask
to
you
show
about that,
off
yeah.
the best players in the world playing pin right here. And we have also shut off all of the extra balls and replays. So these players step up, they get 3 turns. No extra balls are allowed or can be scored in any way. So if you're used to playing in an arcade and you say, I can get 10 million, well, how many balls did it take
do it
you?
on 3
Did it take you
balls.
2 balls? Okay. Did it take you 2 balls with no extras? And so if you're tuning up to learn how to be in pinball tournaments, my first recommendation would be stop playing extra balls,
Otherwise, you're going to get tuned up.
because you need to appreciate the value of a ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly, because it's just, if you have a fun house at home and you're used to getting the extra ball, then getting the Super Frenzy, and getting another extra ball and repeating that.
Oh,
Wow, did he
Frenzy.
just deflect it to the Frenzy?
that was a nice
A little
bounce
bank
there.
shot.
I don't think he intends
He
to.
didn't want that, but whatever. He's going to try and rush and maybe get a multi-ball. Hopefully
Oh,
he
I
doesn't
think he
rush
wanted
too
that
much.
for sure. But he's got 11:45
Maybe
right
he
now.
wanted to save that a little bit until
There's
midnight.
a 500K bonus
Trap
plus the frenzy
door
is running.
bonus.
Frenzy.
The
Still
regular
running.
frenzy is
Three-way combo.
the regular frenzy is worth 50,000 per hit for 20 seconds, so it's half the super frenzy. You get 1 million extra points for free for starting the super frenzy as well. But if he can get the ball into Rudy's mouth,
No, you have to say it. That's what
You
it
have to
is.
say it.
That's what it is. It's fine. We're all adults.
I apologize to my family
Hopefully,
for.
even the kids who are listening are adults. We're
That's
fine.
just literal. I mean,
We're
it's a
pinball players who say the word ball 800 times a day.
It's not a dirty word. It's
Right.
really not. It's a necessity to say
Yes,
it.
well, all
say
right.
it.
So, in order to start multi-ball, we need Rudy to gulp the
Put
ball,
the ball in the mouth. Just
Wow.
fine.
Well, we
It's
coulda
fine.
and
We're
we're
fine.
offline. 'Cause there it is.
Done.
That was a tough shot there
There
because
we
he kicked
go.
off the wall a little bit extra. He needed to time that just right.
And he did.
All right, time to cash in some trap. There's one for $2 million, and he's on his way. Let's get that ramp. The ramp will reopen the trap door. For $3 million, it's ready.
Now, what does it feel like when you score this jackpot, Todd?
I don't know. I've never hit it. No, it feels really good, I think. But there's just so much madness going on there. I mean, Jim is obviously such a better player than I am. But he's trying to set himself up, and he'll have a shot at it here.
Get it.
Couldn't quite hit it that time, but he's going to try it again.
He's got time, and so right there he's trying to
Oh,
rescue.
no.
Oh!
What?
And that was bad luck,
Fish.
really, but also he was trying to use the last 5 seconds as an opportunity to get that jackpot. 10.9 million pulls him into the lead.
What a match we have.
This is a good game. Remember, this is ball 2, so this is not the last ball on Funhouse. But we're excited here. We got a huge crowd of players and spectators here just outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's game 3 of the Pinburgh Finals. Andrei Masankov stepping up, and he is in last place going into this game with only 2 wins. The other players have 4, 3, and 3. So Andrei really needs to pull a strong ball here. He is way behind on this game.
He's
Strong
behind.
like
He doesn't
boys.
have his quick multi-ball card to pull out. He does not. He's going to need to work on clock.
Strong like Andrei.
Work the clock.
That's what he's basically doing. He's just making shots and building up clock here.
Yeah, and Andrei's going to get back into
That's
this
good.
game by multi-ball, basically.
Yep.
He doesn't want to miss shots because he doesn't want to get clock blocked.
It's time for the lock.
There it is.
It's 11:30,
The
ladies and
clock-
gentlemen.
The clock has
Put
left.
the kids to bed. It's pinball hour.
The clock has unlocked the lock.
Trying to get that
Now,
ball
this post
moving.
pass has not been as friendly as normally what we've seen on Funhouse.
Yeah.
It's they're a little squirrely, as some of us would say.
Now, what's the purpose of a post pass here, and why would Andrei choose this instead of some other skill move?
Well, the lock is makeable from his left flipper, right? And he'd be on his right flipper. He wants to get to the flipper he wants to shoot it from. Sure, the lock is possible from a backhand, improbable, but you'd rather make it from the left flipper. So once he catches this pinball arcade style, he's going to want to transfer this over to the left flipper so he can take a nice, clean shot to the lock.
Now, he's already tried it 3 times, and there it is. The
There
fourth
it
time was
is.
successful.
Now he knows how to do
That was
it.
getting
Times
dangerous,
shot.
though. Those other 3 times, not only was it unsuccessful, but it flew out of control.
Right.
And
Pretty dangerous for
He had some
for the,
danger.
for, for the safest move in the
The
game, huh?
OC.
Right? I mean, the post pass is safe.
and that's nice there. That's a hop over.
Excellent.
And a player can also give the ball some vertical momentum to push that ball across. It looks really dangerous, but if the ball has a nice arc to it, it's very simple. It settles quickly. And in this case, it gave him that second lock really fast.
Especially if it goes through the right in lane. If it goes through the left in lane, it may not have enough speed to get to across there. But if it goes through the right in lane, the right side of the right in lane, then it will have enough speed to carry right on over for you.
The ball's got to have mo.
Oh! And penalties. Got to go back to 11:30 when he
Yeah.
gets back up.
Yep. So he'll have to relock the balls.
We take a half hour off your score.
We do, and we make it difficult. And that's another of the changes between the competition version of the game and the version you might see in an arcade. That's actually done for the fairness of competitive locks. That if a player somehow if one player unlocks the locks by getting multi-ball, all the locks are gone for everybody else. So one player might be at midnight, and the other player might be back to 11:30, unlucky.
Right.
And again, we mentioned the software by Larry. Just he's so attentive to the details of the game, and this was just one of those details. And it was one of the first instances of code being adjusted for tournament mode, let's say, or for competition mode, to make the game fair across random awards, across locks. And more games over the years have had tournament modes, especially as competition players started to become designers and software architects as well. And earlier today, we saw the conversation with other folks and talked about Lyman, about Keith Johnson, about others who have come and gone. Kevin Martin, the director of Papa, worked at Data East Pinball for a while.
Just met the new guy at Stern, Jack, and just loves pinball, and another player in there making things really fun. It was really interesting to talk to him.
Yeah, Tanyo Kleiss was here as well, a new software designer. He played in this tournament.
These guys love pinball, and I love that they love it.
And the fact that they love pinball, I mean, they know what's fun. They know what the players want. And
it's software made by players for players, and
it's
we really appreciate it.
We don't make the software that you talk about. We make the software you love better.
Yeah, no doubt. As Robert's heading towards, looks like he's going for ramps more than anything else right here. The left ramp and then a hop over.
Because he doesn't have many bumpers active. He only has one 5-minute bumper over there. The red one there. That is.
That was
surprising.
Oh, that was. Were you surprised at that, Tilt?
No, I was surprised if it didn't. Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute, this might not.
I was going to think that Plumb Bob wasn't installed correctly.
Whoa.
And here comes Damien. Damon's like, yeah, you know what?
I'm going to give this a moment. I'm going to give this a minute.
I think I'm going to wait a little while.
He's going to take a knee. He's going to pull an Eden Stam and take a knee.
It's like, you know what? Yeah, let's have a little rest here. Let's have Rudy calm down a bit.
Rudy's pretty fired up.
He's been traumatized a little bit by that move, and
I put my watch on stopwatch mode, and I hit start, and I like to let that thing go at least a half minute to a minute, just to let things just cool the bumper jets.
All right, I feel like actually Damien is taking over too quickly here.
Yeah, that's too fast.
That if something happens to him at the very beginning of the ball.
Meanwhile, he does have Super Frenzy ready.
But he may also be looking at this and saying, if I sit on this, I'm just going to get nervous. I don't want to get nervous.
Yeah, don't sit
Let's
on the
just
game
go.
Either. That's against the rules.
He's going to have the balls kick out the top. He's got one lock now. He had midnight before his 500K cash in. I would take the Super Frenzy right now if I could.
He wants to press. He wants to press a lead.
That was odd there. He flipped away.
Whoa,
oh, my goodness.
What a shot. Now here comes the decision of the day.
Possible?
Here comes the decision of the day.
What do you decision?
Not decision. Well, hopefully it's the shot of the day if he can make the Super Frenzy.
What's the choice here?
Well, wait a minute. Multi-ball now or risk it? He does have a decision.
I say multi-ball now.
He flips that away. I don't know what he's doing there. Oh, and he's unhappy about it.
No, he was all throughout that game. He did not know about I don't think he knew about the holding the flipper up catch. I don't think he did.
So what do you think? What could he be doing differently here?
Well, we'll see when the ball came out of the hidden hallway. He could have. I think he was caught in between his two strategies, because he says, "Wait a minute, the ball's coming out of the hallway. Let me just take multi-ball now." And then when he missed it, I don't know.
He's like, "All right, I'll take the
Super Frenzy." And then so he was caught between the two. But yeah, if he was just able to hold the right flipper up and then catch the ball there, he could have shot the mirror for his Super Frenzy. Hold the flipper up again, and then have designs on the multi-ball, and then cash money.
And there's a lot of adjustments you make while playing games that you can also learn by watching other players.
Yeah.
We're seeing the other players do what you describe: hold up the right flipper, let the ball come to a stop, and then take a controlled shot. And Damien may just have in mind a game that he played, the funhouse he's used to playing, where that wouldn't work, or he's concerned that it's going to flop off. Maybe it did once. It's really a difficult spot there because he left both of the largest point scoring opportunities on the board.
I guess which is also a benefit, or some might say a detriment, of the cameras being shown. Oh no!
But he survives. At least he survives past Jim, who does not succeed in passing that score. 11.3 million. That opens the door actually for both Andre and Robert. Robert closing in on another multi-ball. Andre with multi-ball ready. Either of them could get that 12 million score from that Damien has on the spot here. And it's hard to even see what the score is across the top. What is that score?
Right, 1,211 billion and 40. Right. Wow. But yeah, once the score stretches all across that there, I have all those points. They're all mine.
That's a lot
They're
of
all mine.
Place value, baby.
It's all binary in the middle too, just in case you be a little more confusing.
That's a lot of digits up there.
As I was saying before about the cameras, though, I was wondering if Damien was going to see the monitors and see the other players holding up the flipper and catching it.
Absolutely, the
And,
cameras have given players opportunities to learn the strategies and details of what others are choosing to do, and finding out whether they're successful. So you
Right.
can watch somebody else flip away or catch and say, "Well, that didn't work for that guy.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that." And you didn't even have to lose a ball to find out.
Right.
You got to watch an opponent lose a ball. Even better.
You got a free look. That's
What?
the free look you want. The free look that
Right.
doesn't cost you anything.
One more advantage to going fourth, seeing everyone's style on first ball.
Yep. And free looks used to cost you at least some neck injury.
Right.
They weren't
Yeah.
you got to give these players their space. You got to be hovered all around them. You got to be out of their peripheral vision. Makes it harder to see what they're doing, especially when I'm playing, because my back just basically just blots out the whole thing. You can't see nothing past me.
No one can see what's going on while you're
I'm the
playing.
eclipser.
Even with the
Oh,
camera.
oh,
And Andre
I was
hits the
gonna say,
P target on the right. Drains
Yeah.
down the middle. That'll be a last place finish for him. And at this point, he is not going to win. There's no way that he can win Pinburgh 2014. Currently at a record of 2-7 through the 3 games.
How'd you do that math so quickly?
I got just added up that number at the very top, and it's more than 2 million.
Because the most he could get is 5.
There's
So
math
that
now.
P target, those letters, some players call them the pest targets. They spell it STEP for step,
Do they?
but they're deliberately built to just mess with you. Oh, and it goes down
Oh.
quickly for all 4 players. And Damian Charlty emerges victorious on the game. Really bad break there for Robert Gagnon as well as for Andre Masenkoff. Damian Charlty with the victory. He now goes to 6 wins and 3 losses, and he has the lead now. Jim Belcito second. He has a record of 5-4. Robert Gagnon. I'm sorry, I think I have that wrong. I'm not completely certain.
It seemed like you said, Damien was victorious, and in order for him to play well, he may have been privy to something. And do you think there's a victorious secret?
Oh, okay.
No.
No,
Too soon.
that was just awful. Actually, I'm getting a correction here. Jim Belcito taking second on that game. He has taken second on all 3 games so far, so he has 6 wins and 3 losses, as does Damien. So
What?
Damien
Okay.
and Jim are tied at 6-3. Robert Gagnon finished with 1 win in this game. He is 4-5 as a record.
In the mix,
And
baby.
Andre Masenkoff will be unable to win, but can play spoiler at 2-7. The final game is Stearns Meteor, and we'll get a chance to describe the game a little bit before they get started, tell you what the players are going to do. It's a fairly simple game to watch, and we're going to watch it for $7,500
Wow,
momentarily.
that's amazing.
But right now, Damien, and this is a great story, and if Damien is a consistent player for certain, but you wouldn't necessarily think of him in the. If you were to list 5 players off the bat that might win the tournament, I don't think there would be anyone in the room who would name Damien. Even him.
Right, maybe even him, right. But they will now, like after today.
They will now. So Damien is 1 game away from potentially winning a Pinburgh Cup, 7,500, name in the rafters. Fantastic performance today, running all the way through these rounds and beating up on a murderer's row of pinball players.
On the way down here, just getting ready to broadcast the finals, my friend was helped me do a little bit of homework and was looking at the semifinals to see, and he was listing them off, and the 3 names were very familiar to me, and he listed off Damien. I was unfamiliar with him, and obviously he's a wonderful player. So we started to look at what games are they going to be playing the finals. Might get ready, and in a South African accent, he says the first game will be it's called Machine 1, and I was like, what do you mean it's called Machine 1? And he's like, oh, sorry, it's not called Machine 1. That's actually the first machine they'll be playing. And so Machine 1, it's the first in a series. It's a machine. It's Bride of Pinbot machine. So I thought that was a little humorous, little moment I thought I'd share with you at home and maybe at work.
Here we go to Machine 4.
Yeah, Machine
The
4.
final machine.
Meteor.
The final machine with a spinner that could be worth $7,500 to someone.
So here's the situation. Whoever wins between Damien and Jim, players 1 and 2, will be at least guaranteed a tiebreaker and perhaps the championship. Now,
Nice
my
pickup.
God, right off the bat,
Living right.
Damien saves the ball off the center post.
Oh,
Nothing
yes.
he could have done
Nah.
about that second save except perhaps slam
Maybe
the
a
machine to the
slap
right
save,
and
yeah.
tilt it. The goal of this game is to knock over much of the meteor targets at the top, 5 out of 6. Each target then lights a corresponding light on the spinner to the right, and you then slam that spinner for up to 2,000 points per spin, and that spinner is dialed.
Oh,
it
that
will
thing
go
spins.
40, 50, 60 times around.
It is impervious to the laws of gravity and friction. The thing just flows like the salmon of Capistrano.
Yeah, if you shoot it strong enough, you can come back from any deficit, especially if you can shoot it and not touch any of the targets so that you still have your loaded spinner ready for another shot at it.
Yeah, just
If
keep
you
that
can
sucker
repeat-
running. Just
re-
perpetual
Just
spinach.
repeat that
Spin
loaded
and
spinner.
win.
Spin,
And
spin, spin.
You also get meteor letters by going over any lit spot target. There are 3 up in the upper left, red, and then 2 in lanes, and then 1 target in the middle. And it's weird. You kind of get in this odd situation where you've made 4 out of 5 targets, 5 out of 6 targets. The spinner's lit for huge,
And
and
you don't want it.
you've got to avoid those targets.
Yeah.
Yeah, most games aren't
it's-
like that at all.
It's an incredible design by Steve Kirk of Stern from 1979.
Captain Kirk.
He's signed the play field right where the ball is now.
Right above the ball, ladies and
Represent.
gentlemen.
There it
And
is.
you mentioned meteor earlier. This is and
Oh,
here Jim is
okay.
set up. He's
Loaded
got 5 out
spinner.
of 6. It's loaded,
Bounce over. Nope.
loaded for game breaker.
How's he going to get that ball over the
Now-
left
He's got to
flipper
get
where
the
he
ball
wants it?
over to the left flipper without hitting any of the lit targets. And
Oh,
he
and
hit
he
one,
did.
so
He hit
it
the stand-up.
reset. So it's back to action as you
Back
get
to the
more.
drawing
But
board.
quickly, he's
And-
back to a good spinner.
You know,
He's got the spinner
he's
at
got the spinner.
1,800 to spin right now, which is damn good.
almost maxed out.
And a little bit of a hop over there. And if
Oh,
he can
snap.
All right,
melt the
back.
spinner, it would be huge here.
We're back to the same
Looking for
situation.
a post transfer. Some players also use a tap pass here, which is a pulse of the flipper to push the ball from one side to the other, just by flopping it over, and it looks magical. It looks like it's. But if the
Looks like the flipper
Jim is
did.
trying to do
Looks
a
like the
post
flipper
transfer
didn't
there.
move, but yet the ball did move.
Right.
That's why it looks like magic.
And there he
Oh,
is. He's set
here
up.
it
He's
is.
got 5. He's got
Cash
maximum spinner
money.
here. If he can make this shot, it will be enormous on the right spinner.
Yes,
Oh,
he
listen to that
rips
loveliness.
it.
Oh, he's
And a little backspin.
Oh!
Oh!
That was off the off the center
What?
post, then off a flipper, and still back into play.
Oh, beautiful.
And he's
Oh,
still
now
got the
he's down to
spinner
one
max.
target.
Notice there, he let that,
Notice he let that go.
off the top flipper. Max
Yes.
it again.
Oh.
It was right there for him. He's managed to dodge the targets.
Let's
to
get it.
complete
Oh, yes,
meteor.
here we
Here
go.
it comes.
Grip it.
Oh,
rip
missed
it.
it to the left. Meteor
And
music,
the meteor's
such as it
pulsing
is.
at you.
just
That sine
Making
wave
me
is
nervous.
getting
I
on
don't know
you.
about you
it
guys.
gets a little louder.
It's
my,
not-
my
as
heart's thumping.
The dramatic meteor approaches the Earth in the 1975
Nice tap.
movie.
That
That
was
was perfect.
Love that tap.
Push over and a melt.
Oh, eat it.
Off
Oh,
the
and a
center
chill
post,
maneuver
saving it.
again.
What the what?
Oh.
Well-deserved round of applause for Jim Belcito. 271 in no time at all.
Again, the situation, if Jim and Damien, those first 2 players we just saw, are battling it out, the winner between them will win at least a share of a tiebreak for the championship. Damien Charlty, who has come from Northern California, and Jim Belcito from Southern California.
Whoa.
Both players have played for many years. Jim has come very close to winning the Papa World Championship and the Pinburgh Cup before, and he is right here, 1 game away, and now 2 balls away from a championship. The only way that it would cause a tiebreaker is for Robert Gagnon, who will be up next. He will need to win the game outright and get help, and the help he would have to come from Andrei Masenkoff.
Why would Andre help him win?
So if Andre can step between between Robert and Jim, or between Robert and Damien, then Robert can make up the 2 steps he needs to catch up. He's 2 behind. The scores as far as wins are 6-6-4-2 going into this game. And in order for Robert to catch up and make up those 2 that he needs to be 2 further ahead. The only way that can happen is if he gets 7 by winning outright, and if both Damien and Jim take 3rd and 4th, in which case there will be a 7 and 5 tiebreaker between Robert and one of them. But that is pretty unlikely, and you're saying there's a chance kind of territory.
Right.
Telling me
That's
there's a chance.
one of the permutations that just needs to land
Or like
correctly.
1 in a million.
Yeah, it's a as a mathematician I can say it's a 1 in 12 shot in a fair fight.
Oh, moderate spinner opportunity, but
Yeah.
now he just needs control to get another opportunity.
control.
All right.
So he may
Stay on target.
was it CC
Beautiful ripper.
nice and a big rip there,
Beautiful
1400 to spin there. And he keeps it in play. Beautiful bounce, so pass over.
Yes.
Melts the
Good.
spinner some more. Oh,
Look
and
at that
good
score
trap.
line.
Beautiful
Good
play
control.
there.
180 already.
This is exactly what he
How
needs.
do they do it?
Come on,
Skill.
This is an 80,000 rip coming.
Pausing.
Pausing,
Yeah,
just
thinking.
getting used to the
Two
timing.
Right flippers, just
He's just thinking of the timing he needs on this shot to make it work. Flipping the other flipper in anticipation, almost like
That was
that
perfect.
works.
That
practice
was
free throws. And that was
50, 60.
an absolutely perfect ball from Robert Gagnon down the side. But
Nothing he can do
nothing
about
he can
that.
do about
Nothing
it.
he can do about that.
Fantastic ball. He is within striking distance of Jim. He needs help from Andre Masenkoff here. Andre, just short here. He's not going to be able to win the cup, but he has made the Final Four so many times, and he has won the Papa World Championship 3 years ago in 2011. So his name is already in the rafters.
Right.
That
Forever,
means we're going
forever.
to see a brand new name in the rafters today that has never been there before. Whether it's Jim or Robert is yet to be seen.
there's
Or maybe Damien.
Maybe Damien. Come on. All right. The key is control first off. Get that left flipper primed with a good shot.
Oh,
Oh, that was off the
Beautiful.
post and good.
And
And here we go.
there you go.
Here we go.
Off the post.
Moderate spinner, half loaded. Early on that. He will adjust.
How do you
Semi-lit.
adjust? What are you thinking when you adjust?
Well,
Nice
when I
shot
shoot
there.
and I miss it, then I have to take a note of how I missed it. Did I miss it early or late? And then make that adjustment on the flipper.
Right,
Oh.
and the player can control with just the strength of the timing of their flip, the direction of the ball. And if you can figure out where that timing is, where the melt point is on that spinner, you just got to slam that as many times as you possibly can.
Excellent when you can almost visualize that point on the flipper. If you can get so dialed in that you can see almost on the flipper where you should be releasing the ball to hit that spinner for many, many points. All right, so next we have Damien's coming back up. Well, I guess Damien's giving it a moment.
And we've received a note that Damien has 7 wins,
7 points. You were
not
saying
6. I'm not sure. I don't have that information in front of me. I had the impression that Damien took last on Jackpot, but I might be wrong. Oh, he may not have taken last on Jackpot. He may have chosen to play first on Prospector.
Okay.
I don't have that
Good pressure.
information in front of me, and I will shortly. Sorry about that. I really apologize.
Oh, bad luck off the spinner.
Ouch.
Reverse through the spinner and out. But like I said, no lead is safe with this meteor. If you have a couple of loaded spinners, you can melt down 80,000 with one shot, and if you can repeat the shot, you can do it over and over and over again and come back in no time at all.
It's the final meltdown.
Whoever gets the final one will probably be our winner.
I think so. Anybody that gets a hold of this thing and rips it a couple times is going to put this thing out of sight.
So I apologize for saying that we had a tie between Jim and Damien. My information was incorrect. Damien is ahead 7-6-4-1.
Your
not
apology
6-6-4-2.
is accepted, sir.
However, it still stands that if Jim wins the game and pulls ahead of Damien, he can absolutely at least get a tiebreak or the Pinburgh Cup outright, depending on what happens with Damien. And right now, Damien has played too. That
Loaded
was pretty.
spinner. It cleared the spinner. The in lane cleared the spinner because it gave him credit for a target, but still he got some value from it. And more importantly, he still has the ball, even though it's traveling so fast. Nothing is as valuable as the ball, as long as you have it.
Pretty fully loaded spinner again.
All right. That's 420,
420.
420, 430. Yeah, I said it. 420.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Yeah.
What time is it? Game time.
All right. Meanwhile, Robert at 265.
My playing weight.
Oh, that was.
And
okay.
a house ball there. He's like,
almost house.
Oh,
He did get one shot at it. He did touch a flipper, so not quite fully house, but unfortunate.
Robert needs a very specific set of circumstances to catch up. But included among those is winning the game.
So he has to win the game.
That's the only thing he can control, really. But all of the other players have to come just right for Robert to have a chance at a tiebreaker. And here's Andre, who is playing for pride pretty much, but knowing him, he's going to play as hard as he can. He also finished
Nice.
Finished fourth in the circuit final on Thursday. So made the finals in both the circuit final and in the Pinburgh final.
That
He's
is
the only
impressive.
player to do that this year.
Just want control. That's they're playing ping pong. One of the slingshots wants to try and fire it out, but no.
Got that one light on the spinner, but he'll make it rain.
Oh,
and that one he probably could have had.
Yes, that would have come back if the flipper were down. But it's so tough. It's so tough to keep it, to know that when it's heading that fast at that angle. I mean, if he were able to chill that would have been the best chill maneuver I've seen in a while.
It's like trying to catch a bullet
wow.
in your teeth.
But
And here we are on the last ball
This
of
is it.
the Pinburgh final round. Damian Charlty at player one. He's in the lead overall in points, but he's in trouble right here at 7 wins and 2 losses coming into this round. But he's in last place. So this ball needs to be a strong ball. It's got to be at least 240 to even have a chance at winning. If he does not and he finishes last, anything can happen. It could be a tiebreak between him and Jim. It could be a tiebreak between him, Jim, and Robert.
wow.
Or Jim can win outright.
So he needs to close every door he can possibly find. He needs to find any open door and
Is there a
close
breeze
it
in here?
using that loaded spinner that's lit right there.
And the bay comes to play.
You got to
Whoa.
be careful with a loaded spinner.
Oh, it's just control. He
It's,
just wants
loaded
control.
up.
That's all
Give
you
me a
want.
chance.
That's all you
Ball on
want
the
is a shot.
flipper.
That was almost a shot, but not really. I mean, it was off the joint, so it would have been tough to get that. All right, now
Now he's got it.
can he shasty in lane for
Will he go-
$7,500?
Or will he go with a Steinman
Will he-
pass here off the center post? Back to
he
the
had
left.
to clear it.
Oh,
Nice.
that was so pretty.
All right, opportunity. On the second opportunity. Oh, he needs some more control for a spinner just one time. No, this is bad.
This is
bad. Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
darn it. And for Damian Charlty, that ends his round at a record of 7 wins and 5 losses. And as Jim Belcito steps up, he is sitting with 7 wins right now. If Jim beats either of the remaining 2 players, he is the champion.
When he stands up, he still will have 7 wins. It's not just while he's sitting.
That is true. He can stand, and he will still have as many wins as he has now while sitting at 7.
He may be standing when this thing is all said and done.
He may be standing holding that cup, but it's a heavy cup.
I can help him. I'd like to touch it someday.
You want to touch his cup?
Let's get back to the broadcast, please.
All right. Jim had melted that spinner several times. This is the final ball for Jim. Boy, Jim a champion at Pinball Expo many times.
He's in good present company, right, Steve? We've all.
Certainly.
Oh, have we not all done that?
Yeah. Please.
Two
Not me.
2 out of 3, sir.
Not
That
me.
ain't bad.
Steve, you'll have to win next year so you can
Right.
read that comment.
Exactly.
But what is Jim's thought here?
Well, Jim's looking at that
Don't
nice, tasty
drain.
spinner, and so he may be trying to short plunge, short plunge it, and hopefully not hit anything on his way to the lower flipper. Almost perfect.
That's pretty.
Oh, no.
So
Never got it to the
now-
left, off those targets and down the side. He does not pick up very much here, but
That's where elite is
He's
nice.
at 442,000. Jim Belcito from Southern California. Fantastic performance here in the Pinburgh final. He is poised to win unless Robert Gagnon and Andre Masenkoff both catch his score of 442,000.
What happens then?
So Robert needs to catch this score. And at that point, Robert even has an opportunity to enter a tiebreak for the championship.
Well,
Robert,
this could get interesting if this ball is a killer.
this needs to be a killer ball, and if it isn't a killer ball, Jim is the champion. If it is a killer ball, then we see what happens with Andre. We have dinner with Andre.
Perfect plunge.
Oh, an in lane there.
He lives for a little
And-
longer.
Down
And-
to
All right,
meteor targets.
decent spinner.
Here, he's got it on the side for a shot at the spinner. You notice he moved his body a little bit to poise for that shot.
Big opportunity coming.
Wow. He
All
nailed it.
right. Oh,
Is it there?
that
Is it
will
there?
not
It's coming
be
up. It's
there.
getting close.
Oh no! Bonus, bonus, bonus.
No, it's not
Oh,
enough.
Not enough.
And that means that the champion of Pinburgh 2014 is Jim Belcito. Jim has locked up first place with 8 wins. And Damien has also locked up second place with 7 wins. Just 1 win shy of a tiebreak or 2 away from the championship there. It's always so close in these events, but it's come down. In this case, it literally can come down to 1 spinner shot.
One spinner, yeah. That big money spinner.
Spin
proves
it to
itself
win it,
once
baby.
again to be.
And Andre Masenkoff, one of the best in the world, playing out one final ball. See if he can catch Jim for first place on this game. But regardless of what happens, he will finish 4th for $1,500. And
Okay.
Great play here from all our 4 finalists. Andre Masenkoff 4th. And we're getting a standing O for here for Jim Belcito at the Papa headquarters just outside Pittsburgh. Damian Charlty, friends and competitors here, finishing in the top 4, each one of them taking home big bucks. But the championship, the name in the rafters, the Pinburgh Cup will go to Jim Belcito. And a fantastic job by him all the way throughout the tournament. What do you think? What do you think Jim has as a style? What that makes him?
Shopping spree.
How do you think he does it? What makes him so good?
Rules knowledge. I hate to be a broken record, but it's rules knowledge plus consistency equals success. And so if you can successfully mix those 2 things together, and a
That was
dash of
4
luck, a
things,
little
wasn't
bit, a little bit. You know,
3
if you
things.
successfully mix those things together, you can get paid, just
That's
like
a
Jim is about
recipe.
to right now.
That buys a lot of diapers.
Todd,
ladies
you
and
said
gentlemen.
Jim had a lot of pinball machines. How many did you say he has?
Well, it's something like a 900 or 1100 on route or something. I mean,
Over
not just
9,000?
pinballs, but
Over 9,000?
he's
What?
got a lot of
9,000?
stuff, so he gets to
That
play a
can't be
lot of
right.
games. No, it's
And that is
got a
how you
big
build
route.
up an encyclopedia. Jim is an encyclopedia of pinball knowledge, and he has put that knowledge to good use. It can't just be the knowledge, though. Like you said, it has to be
It has to be the execution.
execution.
The execution.
It's
He's
one
the
thing to
executioner.
know that you got a soft plunge and then slam the spinner after getting all those targets,
but
but
then do it.
then
You
you got to
gotta
do
do
it right in front of a huge crowd.
you got to do it live.
Our crowd
you know?
online, and our cameras. These top-down cameras and monitors are new here at Papa headquarters for Papa TV, and they definitely add an element to competitive pinball that has never been before.
It gives us a chance to broadcast, which is pretty awesome.
What do you end up learning from these broadcasts?
Well, a lot. I feel like I can go out and try and emulate and do the kind of things that these guys do, and then you learn that it's not as easy as seeing somebody do it. But anyway, congratulations to Jim. Greatly deserved championship. He's always been a champion, and now he is a Pinburgh champion. So I will gladly give up the mic for 30 seconds.
And thanks, Todd McCulloch. We are at Pinburgh 2014, and we have crowned a champion. It is Jim Belcito from California, and we are going to be joined by Jim Belcito as soon as Todd can figure out how to get out of his chair. I know that's a low chair there, Jim, but congratulations. Fantastic job.
Thank you very much, Bowen. Boy, I really don't know what to say.
You're a winner. I know what to say. Congratulations,
Oh, my
Jim. You
goodness.
did excellent. I mean, consistent play. Well done. You know, you were more controlled than everyone. You were, slightly more consistent than everyone, and that deserves a victory, and you have it.
We were
So,
talking about your encyclopedia of knowledge about pinball games. It seems like you just know what to do on every single game. Do you feel like that had any impact?
I mean, it definitely helps. But I feel as the years go by, and you get in a different game situation, you start forgetting some of those intricacies of every game, especially as you go through a Pinburgh. 2 days, 3 days of Pinburgh, and all the games you have to play, and remember all the teeny little rules that. Oh, I need to do this on Star Wars Episode 1, or
right.
what I haven't played in 5 years.
Testify. That was we were in a match in Star Wars Episode 1 where Jim just about used the lasers on the side to win the game, right? If not for one subtle difference, you could just describe that if you wish, but I had no idea about that, and once I saw that, I'd put that in my mental Rolodex. Believe me, it's excellent play.
It gets harder to keep it there as you get older, but
Right.
This was the granddaddy for me. It's like, wow, I always wanted to just get a non-plaque trophy here. And,
Now
I finally got it.
we talked about the mindset when you're going into an important ball or an important game. What kind of mindset do you take when you go up to, say, the Meteor final there?
Mindset of just knowing I need to have one good game, and I knew we all know how to play the machine, the super goose spinner there. So it's do some control shots and hope to get on the left liver and take a couple whacks and hope that you don't miss it. And
Just impressive that you were able to stay calm to hit that big money spinner, because that spinner is so there. It's and if you hit it, it feels great. The sound is awesome. You know you're cashing in. But if you miss it, you're in trouble. I mean, it's just tough to keep those emotions down, I guess, and you were able to control them enough and really stay consistent with that spinner shot. Just congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Anything you'd like to add before you hold up the cup for the first time?
I'd like to say thank you very much for running a great tournament. Boy, it's been a blast, and this is to be the biggest thing ever as far as pinball in my life. As far as this is the granddaddy for me. So,
Well, you'll be the defending champion. You'll earn a spot in the rafters here.
oh boy,
The
that's
cup,
awesome.
a free spot in next year's Papa Circuit final as well, and and $7,500.
Oh, thank you very
Oh,
much.
and the money.
My wife will be happy about that. Thank you, guys.
All right,
Excellent.
thanks, Jim. Let's
Thank
get
you
you
very
out
much.
there for your celebration.
Get paid. Here he comes now, our winner.
And that is it's a
That's
legitimately heavy cup.
Yes. That is a moment you don't forget.
No, it
don't forget
isn't.
this.
You
This is it.
never forget a championship, as you know, as I know. Well, I feel like it was just last weekend for Papa 16 here.
Wow.
But Jim Belcito is our Pinburgh champion. If you'd like to see more Papa TV videos, you can go to papa.org, or you can go to our Twitch channel, as you're probably already on right now, maybe twitch.tv/Papa TV Pinball. We also have a large series of tutorials and gameplay videos if you'd like to get better. If you're interested in joining a league, look at papa.org or ifpapinball.com for information about local leagues or how to create your own league. It's not that hard. And boy, do you get better at pinball in a hurry when you play competitively against your friends. And it's just a great time. You playing a league?
I definitely played in the league. Jersey Pinball Association. We represented relatively well here, I believe. And like I said, all you need is a few games and a few enthusiastic pinballers. And you too could, train up and be a part of events such as this. And now they're being broadcast. It's so great to see these events broadcast, just to see these moments, these cherished moments that we see being broadcast to the world.
Thanks again to all our Kickstarter backers for Papa TV who have made this possible. I'm Bowen Cairns with Steve Bowden. On behalf of all of our other announcers, our players, and the champion Jim Belcito, this is a wrap-up from Pinburgh 2014. Thank you so much for watching, and go play some pin.
Keep flipping.